everybody, and welcome to the Absolute Football Podcast, Absolutely Lower League, the show dedicated to everything from the EFL Championship, League One, and League Two. And of course, we have another season review. And tonight, I'm sorry, Jen. I'm so sorry. What is League Two? Over and done with, bro.
I can talk about it, and I can go to National League and have a great time.
Yeah. Close this book, end of a chapter, and then we'll start afresh.
Yeah.
But of course, I mean, it's lovely to see all your faces. I feel like I've not been very productive this week because I consistently do 2 shows a week. I had a cab meeting at Rochdale, so I didn't get to stream the non-league show. So do you know when you feel really lazy because you've not done 2 shows? So I'm really glad. I'm doing a show tonight. I was lost without it.
Yeah, I bet.
I know, but of course I couldn't do it alone. Do you know what? I'm not going to ask you all individually how you are because it'll probably take forever. So, team, how is everyone and how's your week been? Shout out together.
We're good. Yeah, very good.
Good.
There's a lot of people who are familiar with the team. 2 people not so familiar with. First, I will come to you, Aaron. I mean, finally, you're an Absolute Football Podcast member. You're part of the team now officially. Our lower league team.
I feel like I've had my own little summer transfer window going on, but it feels great to be here, and I can't wait to get started. Yeah, for sure, I'm excited.
Oh, good to hear. And thank you so much for joining us, by the way. I mean, absolute pleasure having you as part of the team, even though you're an Oldham fan. But you know what? I wouldn't have any other Oldham fan on here with us.
I was going to say, she thinks I'm one of the better ones, so I'll take that.
I do. And of course, a new face. We love new faces. Becky, hello. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
No, thank you so much for coming on. And if nobody knows in the chat, who do you support?
I'm a Doncaster fan.
Woo! Happy fan. You've got a long time to wait, though.
I've got a long time to. It'll be worth it. Yeah.
It will be worth it.
Yeah.
And of course, it's not just us. We have a lot of people in the chat, so thank you for joining us. If my buttons are going to work, my internet's been really slow tonight, so I do apologise, everyone. We've got Chris. Evening, Chris. We've got Sam who's reposted our stream. I just want to give a shout out as well to Sam because yet again, he has done the graphics for the season reviews. He's done all 6 of my leagues. He's also done the Premier League. He does women's football graphics as well. So hats off to Sam. I just want to give massive credit to him. Amazing as always. We've got Richard. Hi. We've got Graham. Evening, everyone. Sam has put love you. I don't know what is happening with my laptop tonight, so I do apologise. Simon has put evening, everyone. Honestly, something keeps happening every season review. Like StreamYard broke down for the League One. I think it just doesn't like the EFL for some reason.
I think that's the time that we just need to put this season as quickly behind us as we can do and get on to next season.
Definitely. Yeah. We've got Danny. Evening, Danny. Champions again, ole. We will get on to that. But like I said, Danny, I'm so sorry. You have got a very long wait because we are going from the bottom to the top. Sam, the total legend. Sam, the graphic man. EFL fixtures are out. Yes, they are. And Sam is the man. He 100% is the man.
Do you know what, all right? I've got quite a funny story about these fixtures that are out today, right? 12 o'clock. Bearing in mind, last week, not that I've said to everybody I was on Sky Telly, but obviously our fixtures were now out last week. 12 o'clock today, I did check to see something down the championship. It still just never registered. I was like, oh shit. I looked at I can't see us where I was. Oh shit, hang on.
That's a bit of mistake.
Yeah, never mind.
I love that. Is everybody happy with the opening fixture?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm looking at it two ways. I mean, we're playing the team that many people are expecting to romp League Two next year in your opening game after 4 years away from home, which is kind of a baptism of fire. But on the flip side of it, I don't think they'll be firing on all cylinders in the first game of the season, especially with so much squad interchanging. So if we're going to play them, I'm happy it's like day one, and then we don't have to play them till April again, I think. So yeah, I'm happy enough.
You don't want to play them before when they've got a good run of form, do you?
Yeah, that's it. And obviously it was a cup draw as well today, and we got some stinking cup draws, to be honest, because we have to play a prelim for the League Cup, which is ludicrous, and I could have my own opinions on that. But yeah, so we have to play Aki in the prelim, and then we have who was it now? I've completely forgot. Who did we get? It's
that good.
Yeah, we've got yeah, so that's what I mean. They'll probably beat us as well. So in terms of cup runs, it's not started off on the best of foots, but I'm excited for the season in general, really.
My internet is really playing up. It's lagging so much, so I do apologise, everyone. But we will make a start. So, I'm sorry, Jen.
It's fine. It's fine.
Talk to us about your season. Now. We'll get this out of the way, and then National League. National League.
Woo! Can't wait for all the Southern away days.
You get to come to Dale and have a pie, though.
Yeah, that's the
get in the Chippy. Get in the Dale Chippy.
Is Jen froze?
Oh, I think she has.
I'm still here.
I'm winking and squinting and trying to see.
I'm still here, apparently.
Anyone talking, Morgan?
That's how good of a season Morecambe had, everyone. Jen is speechless. How good of a season it was.
Just a football club.
Shall we move on?
Dominated, hadn't it, for the past 2 or 3 years on off-field things. I mean, I thought that they'd had a green light for a potential takeover to go through. I don't know whether that's changed.
I think...
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to rob Liam's laptop next time. Okay, taking it. I don't really know what to say about this season. I think going into it, we knew it was going to be tough. We've always been fighting relegation. We've always been in that mist around it. So I think with everything that was going on behind the scenes, I think it was inevitable that we was going down this season. I kind of felt it was happening. So when it happened, I wasn't as shocked. Like, I knew it was coming. I knew we had an excellent team. Half of them lads that have gone now played with their hearts on this, like, literally, they played for that club, and it showed. They never once give up throughout the season. They were always trying, no matter what. But I think with everything that was going on off field, it was hard for the players to switch off away from that and kind of derail from that, because it was everywhere. Like, it was just, you couldn't escape anything. I think the positive we can take from it is we're going to National League. We apparently have a sale. Don't know what's happening with that. And we can just start fresh. We don't know what's going on with Derek. We don't know if he's staying or if he's going. There needs to be some clarity somewhere, because at this minute, we don't know if we're sold. We don't know if we've got a manager. We don't even know if we've got a squad at this point, because we're, 2-3 weeks away from pre-season, and we've got about 9 players. So, yeah, something needs to sort itself out ASAP, because it seemed like we had a sale and now we don't really know what's going on with that. So, yeah. As for the season, I think personally, it was probably one of the best seasons personally for me. Obviously, Liam was working there full time as a media, has now been promoted to media manager, which is incredible. Within 6 months of working there, he's worked his ass off to get to where he is. The late nights, the long nights, the weekends away. It's been a lot for him. But now he's been promoted to media manager. He's loving everything that he's doing there now. He's incredibly happy, and I think that's the positive that I can take for me, as well as Chelsea away. I think that's one game that I don't think I'll forget for a very, very long time, especially with everything going on behind the scenes. I think going to Chelsea away and experience that as fans was probably one of the most special moments for us as fans. With everything that was going on, it was a moment to just enjoy the football and just enjoy Premier League ground while we can, because who knows where we'll get in the FA Cup next year. So, yeah, it was a tough season, but throughout it all, there was still some incredible games, incredible matches. I got to meet Bex at the Accrington game, which was at Morecambe, so that was really nice. So, yeah, it's been a tough season, but on a personal level, it's probably been one of the best ones for us as me and Liam.
I think for me, looking just at Morecambe at the start of the season, like from a complete outsider that didn't really know much about it, something that sticks right in my head was all the way back in July in the pre-season when you signed 15 players in one day. Like, I've never seen a football club do that in my entire life, and I'm not going to lie, at certain points when I've seen that happen and I've seen some of the quality, like, you know, not, I wouldn't say quality, but maybe caliber of the signings that were coming through on that day, I did think, is that alarm bells? And, you know, like, I've just never seen a turnover of like players so quickly in such a short space of time. But by the sounds of it, it sounded like needs must at the time, I guess.
Yeah, it's not like it was suddenly 19 players were in on the day. They'd been in and around the club for a month. The media team was just not allowed to post. So when it came out that we signed 19 players in one day, and it obviously went viral, everyone's like, oh my God, they've only just come in. But they were literally around the club for a month. But because of the sale and the restrictions, the media team wasn't allowed to post it until that day. And that could possibly happen again this season. We don't know. But yeah, it's difficult last season when we had the 19 players. But for me, that team was probably one of our... I fell in love with every single one of them players. And thankfully, Tom White has stayed and he is with us. And I think for us personally, I think that's huge. He's such a big voice in that changing room. Yeah. He's such a big voice on the pitch. He's incredible with media. So I think to keep Tom White has been probably one of the things we needed to do. And the fact that we've done it and he stayed and he's going to National League when he could easily play in League Two. He's more than good enough for that. So the fact we've managed to keep hold of him is huge for us.
Does it make up for Adam Lewis going to Chesterfield?
Oh, it made me so sad. I love Adam Lewis. He was such a good player, and he was just such a nice guy as well. But I think personally, he deserves to stay in League Two. He is an incredible player, incredible person, and I wish him nothing but the best.
Yeah, absolutely, fair play.
That comment from Sean as well. Big desert.
I know nothing. All right, I don't know what's going on. I know he's still there. He's still doing training.
The not knowing.
Who knows what will happen?
Yeah.
Right, we can move on, Jem. That chapter is closed now.
Yay.
That chapter is closed. But another team that will obviously be joining myself and Jen's teams in the National League, we have Carlisle United, who finished 23rd. Who wants to start with Carlisle? Becky, do you know what? I'll come to you. What were your thoughts on Carlisle this season?
Yeah, I think I was one of those people that thought at one point that the Great Escape might be on. And I think unless your team's going to be directly impacted, you kind of all do root for a team that looks like they're dead and buried. And then you think they're going to stay up. I think Mark Hughes coming in. I think it's a real coup for them that he's staying next year. I really do. And I think it came in, he had 18 games in charge, something like that. And he made them harder to beat. They only got 5 wins, but they managed to get 7 draws as well. And you can see that little bit of progress that they're making. I think last season they just struggled with goals. They really did. I mean, we played them at their place and they actually played really well. We drew 0-0. They had a last-minute goal disallowed for offside. At our place, we ended up beating them 3-0, and it was pretty comfortable. But you can see that they were heading in the right direction towards the end of the season. And I think going into the National League, I kind of think them, York and Rochdale actually will be my 3 favourites to challenge for them automatic. I know, I'm so kind on that, but I mean it as well. I
you can come again.
Yeah, I know, yeah. Just trying to butter you up.
I know. You're welcome anytime.
They just conceded far too many goals, and then they lacked that prolific goal scorer to get into double figures. So
I think what was really interesting.
They had a couple of really good strikers as well, didn't they? But they got injured, like Charlie White, he got 30 goals a few years ago. And, yeah. I tell you what, one thing about them though, next year, no matter like what league, obviously they're going to be in the National League, they're going to have the best home strip. Because that new strip's absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah,
if you haven't seen it, go and see it. It is phenomenally good.
Yeah.
I think Carlisle for me is the whole Mike Williams saga. Appointing him, I think, was the downfall from. I'm not saying he's a bad manager, but what I'm saying is styles fit football teams. Mike Williamson has done very, very well at Gateshead and tried to go to EFL twice now, and it's not worked for him. And you can't expect the squad of the time or the lack of trust and time he had to build a squad to play in the style of football that he wanted to play without it then. If it wasn't going to work without them then suffering. So, I mean, you look at them stats there and, 5 home wins all season just isn't good, really. I know it's hard sometimes to make your home place a fortress, but like Ant was just saying, they had quite a lot of strikers injured, and 6 goals for your top goal scorer that's like your number one worry, isn't it, really?
Yeah. To be fair as well, with Matthew Dennis, we had him on loan for a while, so they must have only got him like January time or something, because he was at Dale for I think it was a couple of months. He didn't play that much because he's quite injury prone, but that's crazy, isn't it? 6 goals, but he obviously did contribute towards the final months of his loan spell. We do have obviously Graham has put 2 years of turmoil at Carlisle, big changes made behind the scenes in the summer will hopefully turn our fortunes around. And our Graham has got Mark Hughes to be gone by Christmas. What a statement. Do you know what? I thought that, to be fair, I thought, will Mark Hughes be able to kind of adjust to the National League and stuff? He's a very big name, has lots of experience, but will he be able to adjust to National League? But I feel like Carlisle are recruiting very, very well. Regan Linney, someone I've mentioned so many times on this podcast before the show split. I've mentioned, and obviously the non-league podcast, brilliant forward player. They've signed him.
I'm so surprised you didn't get an EFL move, me. Like I know Carlisle are massive in that division, but some of his numbers for Alty in the last 2 to 3 seasons have been surely a worth a punt for an EFL side. It's mad, but for, like you said, some really good signings. I think with Hughes, I think he's got that experience. He's not going to play. This is what I was saying before with the complete polar opposites of styles. He's never going to play like sexy football, for the lack of a better terminology of it. He's going to play football to grind out results, and he's a winner, isn't he? He'll find a way to win, and I don't think there's any surprise that Carlisle are being talked about being one of the favourites for that division next year. Yeah.
They've got the backing as well, haven't they, behind them? We will obviously talk about them more on our non-league show when we do preview that, but they do have backing behind them. He did reject League Two clubs. To be fair, though, to Regan Linney, I know we will speak about it a little bit more. To be fair to Regan Linney, he probably thinks he's at the age now, he's got the experience in National League, so he knows he's capable of scoring goals in that league. We've seen him before do that for obviously Altrincham. Obviously, they're going to offer him big wages as well, Carlisle, because they are spending the money. So he's probably thought it's maybe kind of a safer option, but they are probably one of the favourites to get promoted out of that league as well. So it can kind of stick with a league that he knows, but also the way they are spending the money and the recruitment that they are doing, because they've actually recruited some really good players, and he gets a chance to work with someone like Mark Hughes as well. So I don't think that's quite a decent logic from him. I really do. Graham has put Carlisle home shirt giving me 1980s deck chair vibes. Has anybody else got anything to add on Carlisle before we move on?
Nah.
Nope. Oh, we want to take this one.
No, anyone cares about them next.
Can I just say one thing on this one?
Of course you can.
Their downfall was their 5-0 loss at Aki.
Yep.
That 5-0 win that we had against them, that was it. The fact we just finished above them as well, I was actually quite shocked, but it weren't their season, was it? I think that's the only thing we can say.
No, I know when obviously Kieran did come on and speak about Newport, there was a lot of controversy and a lot of people weren't impressed with obviously Nelson, Jardy and Wothy. I know he had a lot to say on the matter. I don't know what to think with Newport, to be honest. They're very inconsistent, aren't they?
It felt like a real struggle last season, didn't it?
They showed slickers at times last year. All you have to do is look at them stats, and they scored 52 goals last year. You know what I mean? That's not a minimal amount of goals, really.
No.
So it's obvious that they can do it. I just think I look at that Newport side and they've got more talent on display in that squad than they've probably shown this year, and I think that was the problem.
I think it was defensively was the issue, wasn't it? They conceded the most goals in League Two last year. I think their top goal scorer, what was it, Bobby Campbell? He only got 9 goals. So there's room to improve there, but there is potential within them. It just felt like a hard slog last year for them.
It was away form as well that let them down. Like when you look at the stats, only getting 3 away wins, 15 losses. It's one of them where they could do it at home, but travelling away was their downfall, and that's when you did start to see them slip further and further down because they were quite a way away from us. Like around Christmas time and heading into like the second half of the season, you're thinking, right, they're safe, they've pulled away, but then they got dragged straight back into it, and I think it is like the away form that they do need to pick up on massively.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see how David Hughes comes. Obviously, he comes in, he doesn't really have any managerial experience, but he did used to coach Man United under 21s. So you hope that he's going to be able to nurture the young kids in that aspect.
And he'll have the good links as well there, you'd imagine, for a good couple of loan players.
The loan system, Hughes Manu was like a feeder club kind of thing,
Yeah. But I better not take it away from us because they're one of our feeder clubs.
I know.
No, we don't want any
do it. Don't do
it.
Where would you want to go though? Rochdale or Newport? Come on, Dale all the way, man.
To be fair, that's like asking which one of your 2 exes you want to get back with. Really, none of them, really, innit? You know what I mean?
One of my favourite stories I've ever read is Kevin Lynch, the referee, and his story about the Rochdale Pireman.
I know, that's so funny.
It is the funniest thing I've ever watched. Hilarious. Yeah.
Oh, honestly, if there's ever a story to do with Dale, it's either about how awful our pitch is or how great our pies and chippy is.
Absolutely.
Or Jack the Kit Man.
Oh, Jack the Kit Man, yeah. What a guy. And I can't remember if I actually said it. Newport County did finish in 22nd position. I know last time I forgot to mention a couple of teams and where they finished, so I just want to point it out. I had a few people be like, Charlotte, you didn't say this and when the thingy where they finished. So Newport County did finish 22nd. And now Rebecca, Accrington Stanley, 21st position. How did your season go?
It was haunted by Tranmere, is all I can say without the 5 trips there didn't help.
You should have had a season ticket or a loyalty card, so every time you got a stamp, you got a free pie. I'm going to bring that up.
I feel like when we got to like the 5th trip going, or like the 5th match that we played them, we should have at least got something because it was hell. No, it was an odd season. I think that's the best way to describe it. It was a season which we just made our own problems. We were throwing away leads. We had errors which could have been avoided massively. And it was just one of them where it was annoying. I mean, you look at the draws, getting 11 at home, we were leading, I think, like 10 of them matches, and then we just threw it away. So it's a frustrating one. I mean, I don't think it helped. It took us until October to get our first win, which when you're in League Two, it's a difficult enough league as it is. So to be doing what we did, it weren't great. There were some like standout matches for us. I mean, apologies to Nick. Swindon in the FA Cup. I have never seen us play like we did in the extra time and the penalties. We had, I think it was like an 18-year-old stepping up to take the winning penalty. We had Bill Krellin, who did have quite a bit of comments put towards him, and he did get slated quite a bit, which was really unfair towards him. And then for him to be pulling off saves that he did, and then to get us to Anfield as well. I mean, to see half of our players living their dream of walking out at Anfield and playing on that pitch, it was great. It was. I mean, I think we all saw Josh Woods' reaction to the draw, and just the smile didn't come off his face the entire match. It was really nice to see. And then on a personal level, although we got beat, the Notts County match was our Game 2 dedicated fixture. So that one will always be a special match of seeing the team all in ASFC Game 2 cowboy hats, and the assistant manager as well was a personal highlight. But no, injuries didn't help either this season. I mean, we all know the name I always mention and the heartbreak I went through recently, but like Seb being injured, we had Farron Rawson. I've never known someone get concussion as much as he did, but towards the end of the season, he was out near enough every week. And then we didn't know what our starting 11 was going to be. Each week it'd be something completely different. And we're thinking, right, what is going on? And then we did have a few standouts. Jake Batty coming in from Rovers, incredible loan signing for us. Devon Matthews, we signed him mid-season from Curzon Ashton. Tyler Walton, it was a lot of players that we were signing from National League. So for them to come in and fit in as well as they did in their first season in the EFL was incredible. Sean Morley doing what Sean Morley does best. I mean,
what a player.
What a player he is. Is he like 38, 39 now, and he's still going, and he's signed a new contract for next season?
It reminds me of Ian Henderson. Like that age, and they're just thriving. They still look so fit, don't they, on that pitch? Like you wouldn't honestly think that they were that age. And what a season he's had as well.
He's out running like our 20-year-olds on the pitch. Like he's putting in the effort. Them lot are just going for a stroll half at time. Yeah. But no, it was an interesting end to the season as well, with everything that came out the night before last match at season, with Andy Holt not putting money into the club, but now he is putting money into the club, but we've still got no academy, and we don't really know what's happening because we don't actually have shirts for next season either. We've got away in third kit, we've not got home, so not sure what's happening there. It's just a bit chaotic, but hopefully we can do something and we don't have a season like this, because I don't think fans will be as nice this season.
Without, at the risk of going into a completely different podcast, I'm just curious, what's the general sort of consensus about Andy Holt in the Aki, fans, in the sense of more to do with his Twitter account fascinates me as a neutral of football. Like, I've never known an owner to speak so freely. I know it wasn't this season, but I remember the whole John Coleman sort of situation that popped off on Twitter over there. And to me, on the outside, it looks very sort of unprofessional at times, but it's also very entertaining. Like, what are your fans' sort of perceptions on how he sort of deals with them type of things?
I think for Aki fans, we'd prefer for it to be kept offline, and we'd prefer for everything to be dealt with in like the way that it should be, behind closed doors, and like not have our business posted everywhere, because it was like there was I think he put the club up for sale on Twitter, And then you've had everything else that's come out with like the arguments with the council recently, especially. So it just doesn't make us look good, and it makes us look a bit of a joke club, which we're not. We are an established side. We are a good side. So it's one of them where it's like, I'd just prefer for everything to be taken off Twitter and off whatever place he's posting it. And I think that's the same with a lot of Aki fans. Like, he can have his say, he can do what he does, but just keep it offline, because then we actually look like a decent club that like we are.
Yeah, it should be a rule, shouldn't it, that football owners should just stay away from Twitter. Like, it's just mad. You set yourself up for a fall, ain't you?
I think just speaking on social media very quickly, when it comes to Oldham medicals, I think our new signings need to take social media policy at the minute, because you've probably seen it yesterday with Keane Harrogate and all that stuff going on with him in Ibiza. However, I am under the impression that is an old video, and when I say old video, I think it happened last summer. Not that makes it any better, but I don't think he was an employee of the football club at the time that was happening. But you are right in terms of I'm all for giving.
Sorry,
I'm all for giving like footballers more freedom to express themselves and show character, but sometimes and owners, but sometimes I just think it harms the reputation of the football club more than anything, you know. And yeah, it's an interesting debate.
Right, so 20th. I feel like the only person to do this should be Rebecca, because you've seen it more times than anyone this season. Tranmere Rovers finished 20th.
I'll take Tranmere if you want.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you.
So I feel like Atkins was always going to be a divisive appointment. You know, I mean, some of his press, I don't know whether you've seen it, but there was a compilation on Twitter a couple of days ago of all his Tranmere press conference highlights. And he's like the football manager version of David Brent. Like, just like he's crazy, like not crazy, but he starts speaking about things that are just wild. And like, I remember, I feel like the sort of catalyst for the Tranmere sort of slide actually came at the hands of us in the FA Cup when we went there in, I think, was it round 2, I think it was, and we beat them in normal time 2-1. And because I remember before the game he was like, "This is a derby. We need pride. We need passion." And all Tranmere fans were losing their heads. So like, what is he talking about? So I just think it's one of them appointments that was like, on paper he's got a very good CV. You know, he did wonders with Southampton back in the day. But sometimes the old guard have the time. You know what I mean? You can't just keep pulling out the old guard and expecting him to do miracles. So obviously it then became the end of his terror, and obviously things got a whole lot better under the. I think he was the interim tutelage at first, wasn't he, with Crosby?
Yeah. Andy Crosby,
things got a whole lot better. And look, I think it's probably a season of massive underwhelmment for Tranmere, because as an Oldham fan and with the little bit of a historic rivalry there, I'm not the massive fan of Tranmere, but I can be self-aware to say they are a big club for that level. You know what I mean? They are a huge club. They've got a huge fan base, and really they should be delivering more. I mean, you look at that away form. You look at that
terrible,
away
isn't
form,
it?
and 13 losses, 43 goals conceded on the road. I mean, you know, what is that? Like, so really, you get what you you get what you deserve. But I mean, 11 goals for a striker isn't the worst return, especially considering some of the teams we've already discussed tonight. But I think Omari Patrick again is another player that's got a lot more potential than what he's showing, and has had, you know, goals throughout his whole career. But obviously, like Chris just said in the comments, then I think the bigger sort of off the field story with Tranmere was the potential ASAP Rocky takeover, which I think must be dead in the water now, because I've not heard anything for months. But obviously that kind of took over a little bit, and probably a big season of underwhelmingness, if that's even a word. If it's not, I've just painted it and made it a word. But yeah, like, and I feel like the fan base, the Tranmere Rovers fan base, expect more, and I think there's going to be a lot more pressure on them to deliver this coming season. In terms of what that deliver looks like, I'm not quite too sure, but they shouldn't be anywhere near a relegation scrap, in my opinion.
No, when Donny played them, we played them on Easter Monday, and we ended up winning 3-0. But actually, we went 2-0 up because they were the better team for large parts of that game. And when we were 2-0 up, they looked more likely to score, and it just ended up being that they just couldn't create enough clear-cut opportunities to actually score them goals, which has been obviously their downfall all season.
I think it was Tranmere that bugged me because I think we were winning 3-0 at half time and then they drew 3-3 and that was just...
Yeah, I remember that, yeah.
Don't like Tranmere.
We will move on. Another team not a lot of people like. MK Dons, they finished in 19th position. Drita, I'll come to you. What's your thoughts on MK Dons and their season? Because do you know what? I was really underwhelmed by these. I actually think I had these to either get promoted or win the league.
I did.
Yeah.
I did in my ACCA. Yeah, I did.
Yeah, like you said, it's a bit underwhelming. Like 19th is a bit, it's
They
not
just
that
lost.
great.
They lost far too many games. I remember I kept waiting for them to get that one win that would like kickstart their season. And I remember they beat Chesterfield 3-0. I think it was like at the beginning of December. And I thought, come on, is that going to do it? Because in League Two, you only need to put, 3 or 4 wins together. And all of a sudden you're in playoff territory, and we found that out from Doncaster last season. And it just didn't happen. They just could not put any sort of run together at all. So
I feel like what's important to mention with MK Dons without like seeming like we're picking him out, but it's just the state of the fact is this is another Mike Williamson experiment that ultimately went wrong for the Dons, and then they fell behind very early doors, and we're trying to battle with that expectation and battle with the changing style, because again they went from somebody like Williamson, who openly plays a very expansive style of football, to somebody like Scott Lindsay, who's more sort of pride, passion, sort of big tackles, like run yourselves into the ground. And then he just didn't get. I don't think he got time, Lindsay, to be honest. I mean, they made the big appointment, and I thought it was a good appointment at the time, but they just didn't give him time. And I think that's a problem with MK Dons. They have a lot of money. They have this massive stadium, but they want success, and they want success now.
Success, don't they?
Yeah. You can't build like, without being too cliche, I'm gonna pull it out on my debut episode. Rome wasn't built in a day. You know what I mean? Like you can't just build success overnight. And I think MK Dons is the perfect example of that. And now obviously going into the new season. Everyone's expecting them to walk it. However, there is always that risk of they've completely changed the style back to what they were trying to do with Williamson. So yes, this building a bit of a super squad, but are them players going to be able to gel so quickly and like find a brand new play style again? Who knows? So I think it's a really, really big season for MK Dons, because they've made so many gambles in terms of so much money put in already, and so many gambles with management. That if it doesn't happen this season, I don't know what kind of short-term future of the football club looks like in that sort of regard.
They have recruited very, very well.
Yes.
So far this season, very well. I'll give them that.
Doncaster did not Doncaster, sorry. MK Dons did confuse me a bit because, sorry, I'm getting my teams mixed up already.
Don't worry.
They did confuse me a bit with like how many players they did start to get rid of midway through the season, because it's like, I know they released Joe Pritchard, Tommy Lee going
baller,
to Bradford.
by the way, absolute baller.
So it's one of them where it was like, it just seemed to be a bit odd the way that they were trying to go about things with transfers especially, but then who they were releasing, because they did release some decent players, and then Drita can say that about Tommy when we get to Bradford as well. But it's one of them, it's like it's an odd way round the season, I think.
Yeah. Right. 18th position, we have Harrogate Town. Do you know what, Drita? I will come to you. What did you make of Harrogate?
To be honest, they're the team for us that we just can't beat. and like they just get on our nerves quite a lot. They're just one of them like really annoying teams. But we did beat them once this season. We did lose the other game, unfortunately. But like they're just kind of like the team you'd expect to finish like mid-table-ish. You don't like, I don't know. I feel like with the signings and everything, they don't really make like really like strong signings.
No.
But like Anthony O'Connor, who used to play for us, he was like key for their midfield, I think, this season.
Yeah.
And obviously Jack Muldoon as well. Like he's a very good player for Harrogate, and I feel like he was like pivotal in their midfield. But I don't know what to expect with Harrogate. They kind of finish like 11th to like 18th. Usually it's not like too high up, if that makes sense.
No, I completely agree, to be fair. But one of them teams, they just happen to be there all the time, don't they? Like every season, I'm like, right, Harrogate are going to get relegated this season. Harrogate aren't going to do well this season, but somehow they manage to either go on a run and they'll just manage to do it. But like you said, obviously, Jack Muldoon, he's been there quite a few years now, hasn't he?
Yeah.
One of their key players. But yeah, they're just one of them teams. And look at them, like, the home, they've won 10 at home as well. That's quite good, isn't it? And over away form, not very good, obviously, away. But I just, like Paul said it, like, they're just there.
I didn't realise that it's the 5th consecutive season in League Two. When you look at it, you're a small fish in a big pond, and you look at the resources available to them, and you kind of have to admire it. And I think what's hard for them is,
100%.
you know, with their transfer budget and things like that, how do they actually progress higher up the football pyramid? Because at the minute, they are, with respect to them, punching above their weight.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're never going to get rid of the manager, are they?
No.
It's not going to happen, is it?
Never.
Sorry, son, you're sacked.
I know, imagine.
It's not going to happen, is it? So,
Not going to happen, no.
That would cause some family tension, wouldn't it?
Imagine the Christmas dinner.
It's so awkward. Oh, funny. 17th, another one where I just cannot cope with Gillingham. I mean, bless him, Sam had to do the graphics. He only had space to put Ainsworth on there. The amount of managers they have gone through, not just this season, but the last few seasons. Who wants to talk to Gillingham? Becky, go on.
Yeah, I mean, goal score. I mean, they scored the fewest goals in League Two last season.
Yeah.
And I think that was Jaden Clark. Was it 7 goals? Yeah, there we are. Got it there. Yeah. And they just desperately, the managerial changes and how often, and I looked and I thought, I can't believe how frequently they're changing their manager, and they desperately need that consistency. Now, Gareth Ainsworth is a great manager. So you should, good. Yeah, absolutely. Very likeable as well. I think the fans will connect with him. I think he'll get the players on board as well. So they should benefit, hopefully, from having a first pre-season under Gareth Ainsworth. He can put his own stamp on the team. He can bring on the players that he thinks are a good fit for the club. And hopefully, I mean, they had a great start to the season. I think Gillingham were top of the league. The first couple of months were brilliant, and then they obviously fell away. But I'd expect maybe a little bit better for them next season if they can score some more goals. Yeah.
They'll still have the horrible Final Destination stand, won't they? So.
I know.
That's the other thing, isn't it?
Oh, bless it. This made me laugh. What Sam put. How am I expected to get 3 managers in a graphic yet still do justice to Ainsworth's hair? Exactly, Sam. You did. Do you know
what it is? And Becky hit the nail on the head there about Ainsworth. The lad's like, he's a good manager in like League One, League Two. He is a good man, and he speaks a lot of sense and stuff. And I like the stuff at QPR when he brought out that Zulu warrior and all that to G up the crowd and all that, to G up the players. It went wrong there. But you know, every time you see him on the telly and all that, you kind of like, he's one of a few pundits where you agree with him all the time. He speaks sense. So I think there'll be a team to watch next year if they give him.
I think so.
They're going to be trying to like sign a few players, aren't there, as well, and still got a good team there, so they should be all right.
Yeah, I think so.
On the plus side, if they do get promoted, then he sorts out his own promotion party entertainment, right? Because I believe he's a bit of a rocker, isn't he? He fancies himself on the guitar and
he's
singing,
a band,
doesn't he? Yeah.
I hope we're invited to that if we do get promoted. I'd love to go to a Gareth Ainsworth party.
Absolutely.
I'm going to clip it and tag Gillingham in it. Get us on the list.
Get us on there.
Ain't no party like a Gareth Ainsworth party.
Exactly. And can I just say as well, you all know from my headset, I'm a very massive yellow fan. Yellow is my favourite colour, and I'm loving that shirt. I'm loving the yellow shirt.
It is all right, like that.
It's a
That one
vibe.
at the end, that third, is that the goalkeeper strip?
That's the
one at
third.
end?
Is it the goal? Yeah, it's nice, that green one.
So
That is
are these the new ones or the ones just gone on? Am I being a bit thick?
It's the ones from last season.
Right,
Oh,
okay.
Nice that. Yeah.
Ain't no party like an Ainsworth party. Hey, ho. No, I think with Gillingham, like we said, I think with Gareth Ainsworth, they've got consistency, obviously, with him. They do have the backing as well from the board. They have spent a lot of money as well through the last couple of seasons. Really good ownership. So I do reckon they will be roundabout playoffs, to be honest, this season, especially, like we said, with Gareth Ainsworth.
I think so.
They've just signed as well recently. Is it that Seb Palmer Holden?
Yes.
So he was at Dundee, so I've been following him quite closely. What an incredible talent he is. Like him at Gillingham, that could be an incredible signing for them, and it'll just be like the boost they need because, like we've said, they do have the players to be able to go out and do it. I mean, for me, I know I'm biased, but Jack Nolan, like talented lad, especially when he was at Accrington. So it's like they do have the team to gel. It's just they just couldn't do it this year, especially with the three managers. And I think we started their downfall as well because they could have gone top of the league when we travelled to them. We won with like an 89th minute winner, so it was great. Mid the journey, and we didn't have to go in the hell of an away end because we didn't take enough fans to warrant it being opened.
Right, 60th position we have Barrow.
I like Barrow.
I like Barrow.
I've got a soft spot for Barrow. Yeah.
I like Barrow.
I don't want to get us in trouble. On my
don't say it, then Aaron. Don't say it. Don't say it. Don't say it.
I'm gonna do it anyway.
Don't say it. No, you're not. No, you're not. If it's gonna get us in trouble, you're not saying it.
No, but it's not even that bad. I just feel like they're one of the EFL teams that are just a little bit like. They're just a little bit like, not irrelevant. That's probably a little bit too harsh, but they don't feel like an EFL team to me. You know what I mean? They feel like they could comfortably be in the National League for the next 10 years, and that's all right. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think
it makes their achievements even better with where they've been the past couple of years. Yeah.
Maybe so, and maybe I'm a little bit salty over our last couple of seasons in the EFL. I don't think we ever beat Barrow. So maybe that's where the anger comes from. Maybe that's what it is. But I think this one's yet another story in this division of an unproven manager. Number one, not being getting enough time, and number two, not being backed enough. And look, you know, I raised my eyebrows when Clements was first appointed, and then you know, I kind of you get what you pay for in terms of the inexperience and not backing your manager with time and signings. So yeah, it's just a bit of a season of a kind of mediocrity for Barrow. However, next season, obviously I saw a lot of Andy Wing with Solihull Moors last year, and he is a fantastic manager. He is a fantastic man manager as well. So I definitely think they've got the tools there in terms of an actual manager that could do something. But yeah, I just think I don't really know what the expectation is for Barrow going into next season. Maybe just another season like this one, you know.
I think it was always going to be difficult from this season. Coming back up, they occupied them playoff positions last season for so long, and then finished the season really poorly, and they had to kind of pick themselves up, dust themselves off, and go again. They actually conceded the same amount of goals as Doncaster last year. So defensively, they were really solid. And if you look at that bottom half of the table last year, they had the best goal difference in the bottom half by a mile. But on the flip side of that, the actual the goals scored, the top goal scorer, he managed 6 goals, and that's where they've come undone. But I think they finished the season on 4 draws. I think if they can convert some of them into victories, there's no reason really that they can't push up a bit higher next season.
I completely agree. I do really like Barrow, and do you know what? So far as well with some of the recruitment, we'll talk about it in our preview show at some point. But they've recruited really well. Ben Winterbottom as well, the keeper who was on loan at AFC Fylde last season. He was part of Brentford's academy. He's a very
craving for him, weren't they?
Very good signing. He is very good signing.
Yeah.
So Cheltenham Town finished 15th. Any thoughts on Cheltenham? And Anne, I'm going to have to let you just hold for a moment if that's okay, because I really, really need to grab a drink of water.
Yeah, no worries at all.
Thank you.
Worries at all. Anyone want to take on Cheltenham Town?
I mean...
Yeah.
Go on, Treaty. Go on, Treaty.
I'll go. Like, they're an all right team. Like, they've obviously come down the season before. We took 4 points off them. Sorry, they weren't too bad. Like,
That's
George Miller used to play for us.
They're all right team, but we took 4 points off them.
Yeah. George Miller, obviously the top scorer, who used to play for us. So obviously our fans were like seeing how he was doing. He's not changed much in terms of his style as a striker, but he's got them the goals. I think they pretty much had an entirely new squad in front of Michael Flynn, which I think was the reason why they finished so low, because they didn't have time for like the players to gel maybe. But yeah, I think next season maybe they'll push on. It depends on the signings that they make, but I think I expected them to finish like mid-table, because you didn't know what they would come with, coming from League One. Obviously changing the squad, you don't know what they were going to bring, so I kind of expected this.
I think with Cheltenham, on paper, Michael Flynn is, he's a winner. He's a very, very good manager at this level. It's just like you look at that, then goals scored to goals conceded ratio. They're very pretty even throughout the season. 32 goals scored at home, 31 conceded, 28 goals scored away from home, 39 conceded, and like they've got 12 draws in the season, 6 home, 6 away. So it's just been a very...
They're down middle, aren't they? Yeah.
Yeah, very bang down the middle, and hence, the league position. However, I would like to throw something out there that I feel like over the last couple of seasons, especially this season, and Cheltenham fans were saying the same, Oldham managed to get probably one of Cheltenham's better midfielders at the time on loan and now on a permanent contract in Tom Pett. I don't know whose decision it was to loan him out to us, but my word, what a player he is, by the way.
You got a gem on your hands,
When that happened, I remember them, like, the Cheltenham fans were a bit up in arms and a bit confused, and you can always tell when you've got a good player on your hands when the other team are disappointed. And I thought that at the time, and then we signed Charlie Raglan off them a couple of seasons ago as well. Obviously, he was part of their, promotion-winning side. And I just feel like they're a very interesting club in terms of they seem to need to make profits either or like sell to succeed. You know what I mean? Or like I think it's a very interesting model. And like you say, George Miller is a player that has come through with a lot of potential, but had quite a lot of, clubs in probably a shortish career up until this point. I mean, I remember him, a good couple of seasons ago now, I think it might have been 5-6 seasons ago at Bury, and he was absolutely flying when Bury were in the league. Like, he was unbelievable. And then, like we were saying before, he went to Bradford, didn't probably do what was expected of him in terms of playing that, that striking role for such a big side, and went to Cheltenham and obviously was their top goal scorer. But I know there's a little bit of interest in him this summer already. I've seen a couple of reports, so it's interesting to see whether they retain him and able to keep his services. But yeah, I think it's just been a very bang down the middle average season for Cheltenham Town, to be honest.
Yeah, I think George Miller, because he left us at the end of his contract to go to Cheltenham, and he's a proper workhorse. He works really hard, he chases everything down. 9 goals this season. He has got more in him, George Miller, and I wish him luck. He's a really, really good guy.
You're back. You wanted.
Right. Fleetwood Town, and they finished 14th. They've now got a manager as well, who I absolutely
What
love.
a man.
Pete Wild. What a guy.
A little Pete Wild story for you, right? So obviously he's a massive Oldham fan. He was at Wembley with us, and the club tried to do like an interview with him at Wembley Way, but he had that many beers that they weren't able to broadcast it in the end. Class, what a man.
Fleetwood. Who wants to talk about Fleetwood and their season so far? Well, so far. Their season last season even. Anyone? No?
Sorry. I keep on getting dogs keep on coming in and out. That's why I'm mute. I don't want that.
No, don't worry.
Fleetwood Town.
What a draws at home, haven't they?
Yeah.
Bang average again, isn't they? Like, they're one of them ones that you expect at some point for them to be like. I think we mentioned about MK Dons wanted to expect a run from them, but it didn't quite happen last year. Too many draws at home. Yeah, too many draws at home. Not enough wins there. Not enough goals scored at home. But Pete Wild, what a man. That's all we'll say about that. And replacing Charlie Adam, who I think we can all immensely dislike. So there we go.
Yeah, I think Fleetwood are one of those teams where on the day they can give anyone a game, and they have some really good wins against Bradford and Walsall and Chesterfield. You saw how hard it was for Bradford to break them down that last game of the season, which they eventually did. Sarkovic 96. So on the day they can challenge anyone, but at the minute I think they just need to work on that consistency.
I think as well with Pete Wild, this pre-season will be like a deal breaker for him. He'll be able to bring his players in. I know obviously Charlie Adams' players were in before that. I know some of them were from him. I know we got to bring a couple of them in, but now it'll be a little bit of a deal breaker. He'll be able to have a pre-season with the players, bring his own signings in, and I think he did absolute wonders, obviously, with Halifax, and then he went on to Barrow. I know there were some issues, obviously, with him and Barrow, but even what he did for Barrow was very, very good, and I think he's a top-quality manager, and I think he'll be able to do a very good job with Fleetwood. He's somebody who I just really respect, not just as a manager, but as a person as well. Is a really great guy. And I've come on here before and said it. Sorry, I'm just finished what I'm saying. I've come on here before and said it, but the stuff he still does for the community, and he still manages a grassroots team as well. They actually play against my little boy. They're in the same age range as well. And what he gives back to the community, I absolutely love about him. And he's one of them people who is involved in football, but he's such a great role model as well, Pete Wild. Absolutely. What an overall fantastic guy he is.
He does it because he loves the game, doesn't he? You can tell.
Yeah. Even with Bozo, like what he's doing with that under-11s grassroots team, you can see they set up like a professional team. Like they are absolutely fantastic, like that age group. And I just love what he gives back to the community.
I think he's also a manager that proves that you don't need a massive budget to be successful anywhere. You need players to be able to want to play for you. And every player that I've spoke to, or every team that fans that I've spoken to about Pete Wild and his impact on the clubs that he's been at, they say that he very quickly gets the fans and the players on side, and they all just want to run through brick walls for him. And I think that really goes a long way, you know.
Love Pete Wild.
I think you want him to do well, don't you? He's one of them.
Definitely. So Crewe Alexandra, they finished in 13th position. Becky, do you want to talk about Crewe?
I will. I mean, I just think with Crewe, I mean, again, they're a team that had to dust themselves up after the playoff disappointment, losing to Crawley the season before. And I think they've gone slightly under the radar because of Walsall's downfall from January on. If you look at when Walsall were 15 points clear and they ended up finishing 4th, obviously, you've got Crewe that were 2nd and finished 13th in the league. And I think a lot of people have completely missed that because everybody's sort of focused on Walsall. I think it's crazy. I do. They only scored 49 goals last season, so they need some more firepower. Definitely. Yeah.
Drita, have you got anything to say about Crewe?
No, not much. Like similar to what Becky said. Like, yeah, it was just like obviously they were at the top of the league and second alongside Walsall, and it's just like it's mental to think that like if their form like continued, that like what the table would have looked like. And obviously for Crewe, that was actually our Game 2 dedicated fixture, and we did beat 2-0, 1 goal after 11 seconds, and I will still keep talking about it because I missed it, and I'm fuming I missed it. But it was such a good day all round.
Yeah,
but it was such a good day like all round. But yeah, they didn't really like come, like they didn't show anything at that game. They were just like, we just played them off the park and that was it. It was just, yeah, I think I expected them around this point when they did fall off, but like I'm still so surprised that they were second and Walsall were top for like January.
I mean, Jen as well, a lot of draws there, isn't it? Especially away from home.
Yeah, I feel like in League Two, there's a lot of clubs that struggle away. We were one of them. We just never really won away. It just wasn't. I don't know whether it's you don't have enough fans there, you don't have the backing like you do at home.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that could be a factor for them. But if they got a few more wins, they'd be higher up in the table and either near playoffs. So I think next season they need to work on not getting as many draws and hopefully getting more upfront players that can score goals for them.
Definitely. I'm liking the kits though. All three of them.
Yeah.
Crewe always have good kits, don't they?
Yeah. We love a good kit, don't we, Anne?
Oh, we do. We love
a good kit.
Yeah. If Claire as well, if you listen, I haven't even like thank Claire for this, but that Stockport County top she got me is beautiful. It only took 2 years, but it's a beautiful top. I'll wear it next time I'm on with Claire. Not next week, like, because we're doing championship. But yeah.
Just before I quickly move on as well, something to point out. Paul did point it out. Top scorer on 7 goals probably tells its own story.
Yeah.
As we've done these season reviews as well, it really does tell the story, especially the teams lower. The top scorers aren't getting consistent amount of goals. Like the further you go up, obviously up the table, you get a regular pattern, or there's a couple who have contributed and scored quite a few goals, but the ones lower down, there's like a regular theme as I've done the reviews, whether it's been in EFL leagues or the National League teams. But yeah,
and it's not always. Sorry, Shai. It's not always like that. That doesn't normally happen. Sometimes you remember, like Cole Stockton back in the day was always banging goals left, right, and centre. Wasn't he? No matter who he played for, he was getting relegated, getting 15, 16 goals. Whereas, like this year, and I noticed this with the when we did the WSL ones a few weeks ago. That the teams who were at the bottom were like 3 or 4 goals, obviously, you know, to play less games. But at the top, you had like 17, 18 goals. You're like, wow, it's mad. It's like mental, that.
Right. So, Swindon Town, our Uncle Nick's team, bless him, finished in 12th position. Can I just quickly point out as well, like, from the start of the season and speaking to Uncle Nick, and then all the troubles going on, and Nova's still having the troubles now behind the scenes. But from when Ian Holloway has come in, obviously he's got a new contract now as well. What a turnaround it has been for Swindon Town. Like massive turnaround. And do you want to?
Do you know what? Yeah. When we had Nick on, didn't we, round about December-ish time, wasn't it? And obviously, you know, we all love our Uncle Nick, and he's, you know, I know he's going through a few health issues and stuff, and we just wish him all the best. And we miss him, mate. So, but I remember him coming around about December, and he was thinking, you know, we're doomed, and they managed to get Ollie in, and it was January when Holloway came in, and the turnaround that he's done. And listen, we spoke before about it, but this is a lad he's been everywhere. He's been Premier League, he's been Championship, been in every league there is. He's got promoted, he's got relegated. Do you know what he did? And he did it very, very early on. He got them playing the way, not so much the way that they were used to, but it's the way that he was used to.
Yeah.
Going down to his ideas. I think it was a few of the players like, it's my way or the highway. And they ended up having, I think, since January, they were one of the form sides in the league. And I'm just so chuffed for all the fans of Swindon for obviously the podcasts that they bring out and everything like that. You know, Filey who listens to us as well. Just so chuffed for them. And I mean, I remember when we did our predictions, and I had them to go down this year, and I'm so glad that I was proved wrong. And it was down to Ian Holloway. So fair play to him, and we all love him, don't we? We all absolutely adore the bloke. And fair play. And you know what? If he keeps on, with that momentum, who knows where they're going to be next year? Yes, they need some money, they need the backing and everything like that, but they've got the right man in charge, so fair play to them. And well done to Harry Smith for 15 goals in that league's tremendous, so fair play to him as well.
I was just about to say as well, what a difference, what we were just saying about the goal scorers. And then you come to someone like Swindon now and Harry Smith contributing, getting the 15 goals. I mean, really good player anyway, but very good. And all three of them kits. I love all three of them kits. I don't know which one.
That third one with a bit of pink is lovely in it, by the way.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Do you know what? Swindon as well, as we've mentioned, like Fifey, Uncle Nick, the guys from Fools Rush In, it's a podcast that regardless like what league we're in, and even though Rochdale don't play Swindon anymore, it's one show I tune into on a Monday and a Friday, whether it's actually live or whether it's afterwards and I'm catching up, week in, week out, I will watch that podcast because what fantastic guys they are and what great content. So if anybody here is watching it, Fools Rush In, Swindon Town, please follow them. Keep up with the content because it's absolutely brilliant. And I do not know how they have never, ever been like nominated for like a content award because honestly, they brighten up my week with both of their shows. They're absolutely amazing. And the love they have for Swindon as well. And it's not just Swindon Town men's. They obviously follow the women's teams as well, talk about that, which is brilliant, and local grassroots teams. So please check that out if you don't.
They're a fun team to commentate on as well, aren't they? Because they do a lot of high scoring games. Holloway's a character as well. So I'll definitely do that.
Oh no, honestly, I love Swindon, and I do have a really massive soft spot for Swindon because when obviously in the past, when obviously Dale were going through their troubles, Swindon Town were one of the first clubs to come and be like, we're with you. They obviously helped us. Their trust gave our trust some tips on how to deal with things. And what a great club Swindon are. So I'm so glad. I know obviously we've got the things, as we mentioned, going on behind the scenes, but I'm glad this season they did turn it around on the pitch because there was a time where I was extremely worried for them. I really was. Oh, a team as well. Do you know what? I really do have so much love. For Bromley. So they did finish in 11th position. And Becky, what was you saying? Sorry about Bromley.
Just the overachievers. I mean, what a season they had with the budget and the resources, and they managed to get Michael Cheek. Obviously, got EFL player, League Two player of the season. They were brilliant. They beat Doncaster 1-0. Both games, and we peppered them for 90 minutes, and we had something about 30 shots on goal in each game, and we still couldn't get past them. And they play with their hearts on the sleeve, and they're a football club. You must be so proud of them to be where they are and to have achieved what they have.
I think people that would have seen Bromley though in the National League for the last couple of seasons and know anything about Andy Woodman's management style. We were talking about football teams emulating the managers. That he is the definition of getting a football team to like run through a brick wall for him.
Absolutely.
And I was very privileged last season to be able to interview him, and he just the way he speaks about football. Obviously, his career, he was a goalkeeper in his playing career, and he has a proper different outlook on like football coaching and stuff, and a very unique outlook on football coaching. I just think he's wonderful. But something that sticks out to me, and obviously everyone talks about Michael Cheek and you know how good he is, but I did not realise 25 goals in a League Two season is unbelievable. Like That's ridiculous. So yeah,
And you
what a
just
season.
hope, don't you? Because obviously he's had to put a transfer request in, I believe. You
Yeah.
just hope that next season that it's not going to come and kind of bite them on the arse a little bit. Yeah.
Do you know what? I have so much love for Bromley. I really do. I just think, like we said, Andy Woodman, what an absolute character, what a great manager, and just the way he speaks, like you said, Aaron, about football. He's so passionate for the game as well. But I just think we're a very well-run club. The facilities are there as well. Very good facilities, may I add, as well. Obviously with Bromley, but I'm really glad that they've kind of made the mark in the Football League, in the EFL. Like we said, though, I don't know what to expect from them if Michael Cheek obviously does go. It has handed in that transfer request. So like you guys said, it's one of them, like, will they be able to bring someone in as consistent as him? He's been there. He knows the club. He's been at Bromley for so long. Is it going to be like different then? Are they going to struggle? So I'm just hoping they can kind of stabilise themselves if it does end up leaving and it's not too much of a loss, because 25 goals.
I think it's like when we had Michael Mellon on loan.
Yeah.
And he was incredible, still an incredible player. Absolutely love that kid to bits. He deserves everything that he's getting. But when we lost him and he went back in January, we struggled massively because he was our goal scorer. He was the person. He scored pretty much all the goals. So to lose him really put a damper on the team. So I think if Michael Cheek does go, I think Bromley could struggle next season because where do you replace 25 goals? Where do you find someone who can do that?
The only thing you would say about Cheek is, even though he's probably not at the, he's like not young, but he's also not old in his career. So he will. Bromley would quite rightly now demand a sizable price tag for his services. Yeah. So they will have if it does happen, they will have the funds to be able to bring in somebody. They could even bring in 2 strikers for what they might want to demand for him. So you know what I mean? They might end up strengthening that way. So I think obviously you don't want to lose somebody of that caliber, but I'm not overly worried about the impact because financially they'll be set up,
that's true.
He's going to be in quite high demand, I would imagine.
It's a difficult one, isn't it? Because I think he's going to be 34 in August, and you think, well, what clubs are going to come in for him, and what kind of transfer fee are Bromley going to demand, and what are clubs going to be willing to pay based on his age? Yeah,
because that's probably you're thinking there you're not going to get a good sell-on fee from him. Say if the team takes a punt on him and that's his last 2-3 years of his career, then that's £1 million down the drain or whatever it is going to be. I'm not saying he's £1 million player, but just as a figure. But as well with that as well, I've always been like this for players like that. When you've gone from being a very big fish in a small pond, that's not been disrespectful to Bromley, but he is a big fish in a small pond. And see if he went somewhere, like an MK Dons or whatever like that, he goes from being a small fish into a very big pond. And sometimes it's not the same, is it? We've seen it with loads of players who are like, I've had a good season, I'll leave now, I'm bigger than the club or whatever, and then you just peel into obscurity. So you have to be careful. Be careful what you wish for, I think, with that.
We don't need to give MK Dons any more ideas in building a League Two.
They can't get any more forward, surely.
Graham's put that apparently Wigan are interested in him. I know they've just signed Paul Mullin as well, haven't they? Is it on loan from Wrexham?
It's Paul Mullin they've just signed on loan, isn't it? Yeah.
Imagine a front two of Michael Cheek and Paul Mullin. Jesus. That is some pedigree.
They just need Nathan Lowen and the set, aren't they?
And less of this, David. Ian Henderson will keep them up. No, stay in port, lad. Hendo, stay in port. I mean, imagine that duo though, Cheek and Mullin.
Yeah, it would. Yeah.
Boy, League One.
I know that.
I can't see that bringing many goals. I've got to be honest. I mean, you look at Mullin last year at Wrexham in League One. Wasn't playing, was he?
Yeah, I think he had a falling out though.
Yeah,
behind the scenes.
It was injured, wasn't it? Didn't he have that injury?
I thought he was injured. Yeah, he only scored 6 goals, didn't he? I think he'll do all right at Wigan.
You reckon? I don't know.
Well, we'll see.
They got Ryan Lowe as well as manager.
Yeah.
Like Ryan Lowe.
I like
I
Ryan.
shouldn't like Ryan Lowe because of his very connections and they were our rivals, but I do like Ryan Lowe.
It shows you're not biased, love.
Exactly. I appreciate good managers and good football.
That's it.
Before we move on from Bromley, sorry.
Rebecca.
No, you're all right. One thing I did notice in our dreaded 4-0 loss to them, their centre-backs are units.
They're
don't.
massive. Yeah.
They are
they are big. Yeah.
Tyler Walton for us, he's like quite a big guy, like broad shoulders, all that. You could fit 2 Tyler Waltons in one of their centre-backs. They were huge. Like, we couldn't run past them. It was one of them. They were about to bring on Josh Woods, and you're there saying, no, snap his leg. Like, they are.
Yeah, Donny couldn't get past them in either game. They just cleared everything. It was crazy.
Yeah.
They have a very strong defence, so that's one thing that is going for Bromley. If they are to lose Cheek, just shove one of their centre-backs up front, because
absolutely.
any ball they'll get.
Aled put as well on Mullen. Mullen had a back operation, but wouldn't want to underestimate a Mullen who has had a pre-season and bits.
I think we're gonna create chances for him, won't we? And you don't tend to lose that goal scorer instinct. So yeah.
I was thinking he must have had a bad injury because he had a bad one the year before, didn't he? When that Manchester United keeper who came to Sunderland, I can't remember his name, freaking collapsed his lung, didn't he, in the pre-season?
Yeah. He did, yeah.
Can't remember his name now because he's not irrelevant. But I know he doesn't have very good pre-seasons, bless him, does he?
No, he doesn't.
Right. Colchester United and they finished in 10th position. Treat it. What did you make of Colchester this season?
They were like an all-right team as well. Obviously, Danny Cowley was supposed to come to us in the summer and then decided to go to Colchester, so we were like, all right, fair play. We got 4 points from them. We won 4-1, which is probably one of the standout performances for us this season. We just played them over the park. Like, they had no chances against us. And then I think it was at their place, it was 1-1, and then they scored in the 99th minute. So they're quite an unpredictable side, I'll be honest. Like, you don't know what they'll bring. Obviously, Lyle Taylor's very reliable for them, and I'm not surprised he's got 10 goals. I would have thought he got more, but yeah, I think it was an alright season for them. Yeah, Jack Payne, former City player as well. Yeah, he's outstanding. Like, honestly, what a player he is.
Lyle Taylor looked over the moon to be there, didn't he? Oh,
He looked so happy.
Miserable.
He is the character in Lyle Taylor. Yeah. He won at Charlton as well.
Aaron, like I say, every podcast, when someone mentions a football pitch, I'm not one to judge football pitches.
Ours had no grass on it come Christmas. I'm sorry. He looks all right now, but we'll probably be the same as Roxdale next season. I'm both on 20 games gone off.
We're having renovations, don't you worry. We're spending money on our pitch. That's why we've not made any signings. We'll have no one playing on the pitch, but at least it'll look good.
Yeah.
I'm joking. One thing I did want to add, though, about Colchester, to be fair, since the Cowleys did come to Colchester, they've got some consistency about them now, because I know when they did come in, they were in a relegation battle, weren't they? But yeah, they have added some consistency to Colchester now. And do you know what? 10 wins at home as well, 8 draws. Like, that's good for at home.
I think they can be dangerous next year. I do. They have the most draws in League Two, I think. But I think Danny Cowley won Manager of the Month in March. And I think we played them, I think it was our 4th to last game. And it was when we went on our run to end up winning the league. And I was worried about them. And we ended up beating them 3-0. And they just seemed to tailor away just when it mattered. But I think they're in a real shot next season of playoffs.
Just looking at the kits as well. I really like that.
You love kits, don't you?
I do. Do you know what? I really do.
I'll send you a nice Doncaster one, don't worry.
Oh, please.
Can I have one, please? Can I have one as well?
What do you need it to? Why?
No, to be fair, and you collect shirts, don't you?
Yes.
Do you?
Yeah.
You collect
I
shirts.
can get one sent over to you, mate. That's no problem.
Thank you very much.
No problem.
The home record for Colchester in terms of goals is a bit interesting, isn't it? Like they only scored 28, but they only conceded 15. That's very. It shows to me that they were defensive first, without knowing too much about them. Like and maybe that's sort of the Cowley sort of mindset and the blueprint. Because and again going back a long time, but I remember at Lincoln. When they had most of the success at Lincoln, they had a very, very solid defence and built the foundation.
Yeah, they did.
Of that. So but I just found that quite interesting.
I had a laugh before when you said about they were meant to come to Bradford and they didn't. And then it turned out all right.
I know. So next we have. Oh, do you know what? I love this manager so much. So in 9th position, Grimsby Town finished. In 9th position. David Artell. Do you know what? I really love him. I think he's such a good manager. Like what he did at Crewe, and obviously bringing the youth through and things like that. I just really rate him as a manager, and I think he's done an excellent job. I know we've mentioned it, obviously, on the podcast. I think it was actually me and you, Anne, where we were there. No one really mentioned Grimsby at all, and then they just started creeping up the table, didn't they?
They did, yeah.
Didn't have a little fun at the end of the season, which kind of derailed the playoff push, but they were right slap bang in there, weren't they, at one point, and it was looking good. The thing is, the only problem is with David out there, he's been like this at every club he's at. You either win or you lose. He doesn't draw many games.
Yeah,
some of them home losses, if you turn them even to draws, they may have got into the playoffs. But I'm with you. I think he's a cracker manager, man, and he's entertaining. So
he's very entertaining.
Yeah,
very entertaining. Danny Rose as well, contributing the 40.
Yeah.
Player. Love Danny Rose.
Yeah, he is. I mean, what's interesting with Grimsby is but they had by far the worst goal difference out of all them playoff contenders, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
Was it about -5, -6, something like that?
Yeah.
Because they got hammered, didn't they? They got hammered like 7-0 off somebody, didn't they? Got right at the start of the season.
Yeah,
But they were, but that's what it is with David Artell. They were you either win or you lose. They don't draw.
It's entertaining, isn't it? Yeah. and I suppose actually, if you win, lose, it's better than drawing a few games, isn't it? Because you're picking up more points. So yeah.
Dreety, I just really quickly wanted to come to you because obviously Aaron has mentioned signing Jamie Walker from Bradford is a top signing. What a signing as well.
Yes, what a signing indeed. Look after him, Aaron, look after him because he's like our player, like we all love him. He literally, you've got such a good player on your hands. Like he's such a good player, but also an incredible person. He really takes on board like being in the community and being a part of a club, and just really takes on what it means to be like a player of that club. And obviously being at Bradford for like 3 years now, he was our Game 2 player advocate as well. I can't speak highly of him. I love him to pieces. Like honestly, he's such an incredible person, an incredible player. Just exactly what you want in a midfielder. And honestly, you've got a cracking signing there. Like
I've not heard of Bradford. I've not heard a Bradford fan say a bad word about Jamie Walker. I must admit. No, he's idolised, isn't he?
Yeah, we love him. Honestly, he's literally like one of our own, even though he's Scottish. But we've just adopted him now. He's like an adopted Bradfordian. That's what he is. Yeah.
No, I love that. Isn't it his birthday today, or just been his birthday?
Yesterday. It was yesterday.
I thought I saw it.
Are you singing, Shaw, or not?
Treaty put it on. I'm sure you did.
Yeah, I did.
Promise, if Jamie or any of his family come across this, I promise I'm not a stalker. I saw it on Instagram story. I promise you are safe.
That away kit's
Grimsby gone further away.
That away kit's the nicest one that we've seen so far, in my opinion. That gold away kit, it's nice. That.
I think apart from Morecambe away is nice.
Yeah,
very nice.
That Jen needs to send me.
I will get you one. They're probably still in the shop. I'll ask Liam to have a look tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
Anybody got anything to Anybody else got anything to add on Grimsby Town before we move on?
Oh, good.
Can't get my words out. I promise I'm drinking Oasis and I've not got any alcohol in it. Oh, this team, man, they broke my heart today. They broke my heart.
I'll take Salford if you want.
Yeah, so Salford City, and they did finish in 8th position last season. Go on then, Aaron.
So obviously, very early on in the season, if we cast our minds back, Salford were top 3, I think, until the end of December. The end of September was it? I think they started really, really well, and then ultimately just kind of tailed away. I mean, again, Carl Robinson is a manager that's been there and done it, a manager that commands a lot of respect. So, you know, I think at the time it was a very good appointment, and he very nearly did it again in terms of pushing for them playoff places. However, I think there's a wider discussion on Salford, and I've said it for a good number of years now. Maybe we just expect a little bit too much from them because of the amount of backing that they've allegedly got. But it just never. They seem to, they did so well in kind of rising up from the non-leagues and getting into League Two. But
did it so quickly,
progress
didn't they?
seems to have stunted now. Really,
Yeah.
I know they've just. I mean, I'm as confused as anyone else, and I don't know whether anyone else has got a clearer picture. But obviously, they've just Gary Neville and David Beckham have just bought the club, haven't they? But wasn't Gary Neville part of the team that sold the club? How does that work? I don't know.
Sold it to himself.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So surely that's like inside trading or whatever it is. I don't know how it works. But yeah, I just think they're a team that have, they have the money behind them. I mean, as Shah just said, they signed some really good players last year, with obviously Cole Stockton being the main one. I mean, 15 goals again at this level is very, very good. He can score all types of goals. However, I need to start seeing a bit more from Salford. They need to be top end of the division, surely, to fit with the ambitions of the club at some point. I mean, I did like a year's internship with them when I was studying at Salford Uni, and that was like the COVID year, the Richie Wellens year, when they fired Richie Wellens after he won the Johnson's Paint Trophy 3 days after.
Yeah.
And it's just, I think it's a really interesting one. However, I think they've made some very, very good signings. Mainly today, obviously, they finally announced Jay Bird, even though that was.
Thank you for reminding me.
That seemed to have took place about 6 days ago. So yeah, I think it's a big season for them next season, because I think at some point they've got to kind of be where everyone expects them to be.
Do you know what?
They've got loads of goals in it. Well, sorry, go on, Charlotte.
Oh no, you're fine, Becky. Go on.
No, they've got loads of goals in them, really, because they've got Hakeem Adelakan that Doncaster had on loan last season when we went on that 10-game in a row winning streak, and he was brilliant. And then Cole Stockton, obviously, scoring 15 goals or whatever. They have got the goals in them. They really do. They're central midfield. I think they had him on loan from Derby, Tyrese Forner. And when Donny played them, he looked a class above the rest. He seemed to have so much time on the ball. But he's just been, I think Northampton have signed him, I believe, today. So he'll be a bit of a loss. But they are doing well in the transfer window as well. So they just need that little bit extra.
And they've lost. Oh, sorry. And they've lost Matty Young, who's been recalled by someone who's going to be a top quality goalkeeper as well.
Yes.
Yeah, for everyone in this. Go on.
Sorry, they get extra points from me on the kits because they have my favourite alcohol beverage across the kits as the main. So they get extra points for that.
Who is it? I can't see.
Fireball whiskey, isn't
it?
Right. 7th position, we have Chesterfield. You want to talk about Chesterfield?
Not
Do you know
me.
what, Rebecca? Chesterfield, do you have any thoughts on them?
Fair play to them coming into the league and being able to finish 7th. I mean, I know I didn't expect it. I didn't really know what to expect from them. Like, they did come into the league with quite a good side, and I am biased because they did sign Jensen Metcalf on loan from Everton, who was a very talented player for them, and he did do quite well. But no, they were an impressive side. I mean, you look at their home form especially, it was incredible. But no, I did have even though they did beat us on the last match of the season and stole our corner flags, which I think we got back. I'm not actually sure of. But I did mention that quite a few times on the podcast. I held a grudge with that one. But no, fair play to them doing what they did, getting... they got into the playoffs, weren't it? Yeah,
yeah, last playoff place, they napped it into 7th.
Yeah, my maths wasn't working then, and I don't know why. But no, yeah, fair play to them. And I mean, Will Grigg with 12 goals, another strong striker, and yeah, they were an exciting one to watch, and it will be very interesting to see what they can do next season. I know we'll cover more of that in the preview, but it is an exciting time, Chesterfield, I think.
And I need you to do something with me now.
What's that?
I need you because
I'm not singing the Will Grigg song.
Oh, anyone want to come up with
I will not do it. You know how I feel about that, man.
No.
Oh.
Can't stand the bloke. No.
No, I'm just giving you.
You know what? We never got to sing that song because he was shite for us. He was awful. I wanted so badly. No, I can't.
I remember watching Sunderland Until I Die, actually, when he signed him, and he did. He just capitulated for you, didn't he?
He was horrendous. He just didn't want to be there, or that was the problem with him. He didn't want to be there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all worked out brilliantly. He's in League Two and we're in the Premier League now, so, you know, it's worked out all right in those 5 years, isn't it? Oh. But yeah, that's a great point. He's found his level.
Every time I see him, I just get in my head, na 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 na.
Yeah.
Poor guy. Paul Cook as well.
He's a good manager, isn't he?
Very, very good manager.
Yeah.
Very good manager.
They've got some good players. Liam Mandeville gives them a bit of flair as well, and Amado Nova as well. And I look at, they were my favourites actually when they got into the playoffs to go up. I thought they were the informed team. Going up to it, I thought they were the best team that Johnny had played, both over 2 legs this season. I thought that home and away they beat us both times, so I thought they'd end up going up. But yeah.
Right, next, Notts County, and they finished in 6th position. Treaty, Notts County.
I kind of
gotta do the Paul Maynard.
Yeah, don't even, Becky. I was going to mention that as well, to be fair. Actually, I'll mention it now. That was the most annoying thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Literally. When McGoldrick scored that free kick, fair play to him. I said it on the pod as well. It was a good free kick, fair play. But when Stuart Maynard just turned round and shushed our home fans, I thought, what are you doing? And as soon as he got sacked, all of our fans went into comments underneath on Twitter and just put that post every single time. I was like, there you go. Serves you right, like, karma's real. But honestly, I expected them to finish higher, I'll be honest. I thought, like, maybe auto, maybe even 4th if you're pushing it. But I think they did like struggle a little bit because of Jody Jones. I kind of expected him to be like a key player, and then obviously getting injured for most of the season. And Jassa wasn't that good. Like towards the end of the season, he was like obviously 19 goals is incredible, but he wasn't like consistent all the time. You kind of relied on like McGoldrick or one of the other lads. I'm not too sure their names, but one of the other lads in the team to. No, not Jassa, like any of the other like players in the team, apart from them 3, because obviously Jody Jones was out, but them 2, if you're not relying on them 2, where you like your goals are coming from. So yeah, I kind of expect them to finish higher. I feel like depending on the signings this season, we'll see where they finish. I think they need to aim for autos next season. They have to.
I will be for them. I will be for them next season.
Matt, I know we'll do it in the preview, but Partisan is such a strange. It's just a really, really left field point. I just don't know what they're doing. I mean, novice managers can work, but yeah, it's exactly like Aaron just said. It's just so unknown for a team that has ambitions to get out of this division. It's such
it doesn't
a risk.
instill confidence, does it?
No.
And the statement that they released afterwards about how the team will be selected and the tactics and it's hard to know who's actually going to be in charge of the team to all intents and purposes, isn't it? I think they were so reliant on.
I always get worried when a team brands somebody a head coach and not a manager, but maybe I'm just old fashioned. I feel like if you're saying someone's a head coach, their sole responsibility is to take a match day and take training. The signings and the recruitment comes from someone else, and that is a worry to me.
Yeah. I think they were so reliant on McGoldrick and Jatta for goals as well that obviously in the playoff they didn't score, did they? In either leg against Wimbledon, and I think they're not really making any sort of great signings so far, and a lot of them, not fans that I've spoke to, that they're worried about next season.
Anybody else got anything to add on Notts County?
All good.
Nope. Right. Fifth, we have AFC Wimbledon. He wants to talk about AFC Wimbledon. I mean, I love Johnny Jackson, by the way. I love Johnny Jackson.
It's amazing how they, finished fifth. They won the playoffs as well, didn't they? And MK Dons finished as low as it is. It's just so funny, isn't it? Fair play to them. I'm glad that they've got up. I'm really chuffed that they've gone up. They're just one of them teams I've always got a little soft spot for. We all love Johnny Jackson on this podcast, don't we? He's one of Charles' dream boats, isn't he?
Do you know what he is?
He's but fair play to them. I think probably deserved it. I watched the playoff. I've been a playoff fan. It wasn't a great game, but probably just about deserved it, didn't they? There was a little battering off Walsall towards the end, but well done to them, really. That's all I've got, really. Well done.
Can I just quickly say as well that we're going on about my dream boats? One of them is Rob Edwards. Breaking news. I just wanted to kind of confirm it. He has gone to Middlesbrough. We will be talking about Rob Edwards on next season's podcast on here. So I'm so happy.
He could have gone anywhere but there, though, couldn't he? You know what I mean?
I know, but it's great to have him back.
It is.
Why is that,
great
Charlotte?
to cover him. He's such a lovely guy.
Such an excellent football.
He's got a great
Great
smile.
manager. Great person.
I love his smile. He's so lovely.
He is lovely, yeah.
But we will get back to AFC Wimbledon now.
I mean, they were the best team in League Two defensively by an absolute mile, weren't they? And actually, I feel sorry for them this season because you look at the teams that finished in that playoff game and how many they've actually ended up selling or moving on.
Yes.
And you think, next season is going to be a hard slog for them now.
Without going too cliche, it feels like he instilled a bit of the crazy gang reborn sort of mentality with Wimbledon this year. They had a lot of characters on that pitch, and I think again, I'm one for a football story, one for a proper football club coming up in adversity, and the fact that I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they beat MK Dons 3 times this season, didn't they? Because I'm sure they drew them in one of the cup games.
They did, yeah.
And to me, that is just perfection from a football perception. And I'm so glad that they went up, because like many other teams, like many of our teams on this podcast, they are a team that have had their struggles, financially over the years, pitch problems, whatever it is, losing the football club to start with. And, you always want to see a team like that rise again. And hopefully it is the beginning of their rise,
Fair play, that comment at the bottom. Who doesn't fancy Robert?
At least he's owned it.
Thank you.
He's lost some brownie points now. He's gone to Barrow. I'm not going to lie. Could have gone anywhere else.
He'll gain them back when he shows us his smile, though. What a guy. But appreciation to Johnny Jackson as well. And just on that, Matthew
Poor
Stevens
Johnny Jackson.
Getting 17 goals. Very good from him. Claire, Rob's going to get kicked out for making crumbs. Not a chance. Not a chance.
Fine, I'll clean them up. It's all right, don't worry.
I just pan and brush. Funny. Yes, I think we'll all have a lot to say on this one. Walsall in 4th position. Jen, I'm going to come to you first.
I knew you was.
Bottled it, and you had very good reason to why you did it.
Yeah. Walsall are the worst team in League Two, I'd like to point out, first and foremost. And second, when you refuse to shake Derek Adams' hand, Derek Adams, who has been at a club that has been battling for the past 3 years, you refuse to shake his hand because you think you're bigger than him. This is what happens to you. Karma
very
comes here
salty.
when you don't shake a Scottish man's hand. And when you don't shake Derek's hand and Barry Roach is coming in your face, then you've got a problem. So for me, this is great. I think it's fabulous. And it really helped me struggle again next season because that's what happens when you don't shake Derek Adams' hand. Everybody else knows he shook his hand.
Exactly.
And you don't need to be big boy because you think you're going to win the league, and look what happened to you. You fell off massively. So,
yeah. You know, the first thing I said at that club advisory board meeting on Monday, I was like, right, everyone, we need to warn Jim to shake Derek Adams' hand, not just once, but twice, because we do not want that karma.
He might not even be there. Who knows? But if you do play us next season, just make sure you shake Derek Adams' hand because karma that comes from that man is real. It's real.
You know when you shake someone's hand and then they shake it back, but then you put your hand on top of it, like as a proper firm handshake like that. Make sure you do that with Derek Adams, right? Because Christ Almighty.
Yeah. Buy him some nice chocolate and some nice biscuits, and he'll be your best friend for life.
Get your best bottle of red in afterwards, you'll be fine.
Jim McNulty watches this podcast. So, Jim, if you are watching, get him a nice box of chocolates, whatever you want. Get him a pie as well. Bring him a pie.
Yeah.
Get him a pie. Get him a Chippy.
Get him a Chippy, yeah. He will forever be your friend. We will have good karma for the rest of the National League season next season.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Just quickly on Walsall as well, like, because obviously Claire's put below the biggest football collapse ever. It's up there, isn't it? It is up there. I always remember, like, just because it was funny, Newcastle in '96 when they were 15 points clear in the Premier League and lost. But apart from that, like, I think that's a huge one. You know, they were away and gone, weren't they? Like away and gone. Velvet, yeah, fair play.
He loves his hand cream as well. He's got
Get the Nivea on beforehand. You know, just proper stuff. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, where do they go now, Walsall, from that? Where do they go next season? It's a terrible.
It is a head scratcher, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, they were away and it was done, wasn't it? It was done, and then all of a sudden they lost. There was a lad who was it Nathan Lowe? It was
Nathan Lowe, yeah.
He went to Stoke, didn't he? He went back to Stoke, and that was it, wasn't it? And it was curtains, and it was just funny, wasn't it? But that's what you get.
Curtains, and look at his hair. Is actually
yeah. 1993's called. I want the haircut back.
Like Jamie Mitchell, isn't it?
It is.
I just think as a fan as well, like going from thinking you're going to win the league to ending up fourth.
Yeah,
it must be horrific. Like,
I
know we're bad, but
yeah,
that
get that slight
horrendous.
resurgence as well, where they ended up obviously winning that last game. They then won the playoff semi-finals, and you think, oh god, they can still rescue it.
No.
I'll tell you, just to add insult to injury, you cost a fortune to get to Wembley and still got beaten as well. Oh bless.
I'm going to come to you because obviously final day, the scenes, and it was Bradford. It was Bradford who obviously hit them to it. If you were a Walsall fan, how would you feel?
Absolutely gutted and absolutely devastated. And I know a few Walsall fans as well, and they were saying how they waited in the ground because they were waiting to see if they were getting promoted or if it were us, and then they were honestly absolutely gutted. Like, I just don't understand how you can feel like that. I feel bad. I don't feel bad because we got automatically promoted, but I just don't understand how that can happen. Like, you were top of the league in January. Like, what is it, 15, 16 points clear, and then it just, like, I think as well, the downfall started playing us as well. We beat them 3-0 at our place, and it was like early January. I think it was like actually mid-January, and it was just like how they've gone from this team that have just like run away with league to gone fourth and didn't even get into didn't even win the playoffs. Like, I just don't understand it. I literally don't understand it.
Rebecca, I'm going to come to you on this one. Do you reckon Aaron's mentioned it's a tackable? I can't speak. It's a tackable offence for bottling promotion. Do you reckon Matt Sadler's job, obviously, it will be safe, or do you think there'll be a lot of pressure on him come the start of the season?
There'll be a lot of pressure. I mean, I think like everyone's covered how they did what they did needs investigating. And it's one of like you can write a dissertation on this. I think I might change the topic for next year and do it on the downfall of Walsall.
CSI Walsall 2024 season.
But no, I do think that he will end up with a lot of pressure on him, especially if they are to be at the if they're to be at the top of the table again in December, January. I think the fans are still going to be panicking, thinking, God, we've seen what's happened before. So it's one of them.
Definitely.
I feel like he's like fighting a losing battle at this point, because no matter what happens, the memories of this season are going to haunt them. So it's one of them. They could start the season flying, end up as high as they are in the table. And then it's one of them, fans can still turn if they're to lose a few. So it will be interesting to see what happens. But I do just want to say I am quite proud that Accrington helped Bradford with this one, which Dreety will cover. But we contributed to the downfall of Walsall, which I do apologise to Walsall, but what a goal by Ben.
We love some podcast teamwork, don't we, when it comes to our team?
Yeah, we do. They've not got an easy start next season either in the fixtures. Just looked at they've got Swindon at home, which not going to happen there. But then Gillingham, who we're expecting Gillingham to improve. Barrow, who obviously have come up in a fly and everything like that. Then Grimsby, then Salford. So it's not the easiest to start that.
No.
So yeah, I mean, it'll depend if they say win 1 in 8 or 2 in 8, whatever. He'll get sacked, won't he? I mean, me as he wasn't sacked beforehand because
I thought they should have sacked him before.
Yeah,
I should have done. Yeah.
It'll be very interesting as well to see what the players and the manager is like up there, like the mentality after that, because obviously it's got to stick with them like that from last season. Will they be able to do better and kind of work on it, or will it still be there? Because it must be hard.
For me, if I was them, if I was them, I'd be thinking, right, we need to buy a lot of players. And then the players that come in, it's not that team, it's a different team.
Yeah.
So then players that come in, yes, it's a different kind of pressure because they've got to start, still got to start well. It's a different kind of mindset. But for me, not get rid of them all, but anyone basically say to me, you go say, right, is anyone not up for this fight? If you're not up for it, there's the door. And then just bring in some players and just change it around a little bit. I think that'll probably suit them a little bit better.
This made me laugh.
Oh yeah, very petty, man. You just met us, like.
Yeah, we stick together, don't we?
Oh, we do indeed.
Right, so I know who to come to for this one. Bradford City, and they finished in 3rd position and did get automatic promotion. Dreety, talk to us.
Oh my God. Shah, do you want to say that again? Bradford City finished 3rd. Oh my God.
I'll pretend you didn't hear it. Right. And next, automatic promotion because they finished 3rd. Bradford City. Treat it. Talk to us.
That's never getting old, that is it? Jesus Christ. I actually can't believe it. I'll be honest, I still can't believe it that we managed to sneak in it. Thank you, Claire. Thank you. Love you. I can't believe it. It's been one of those seasons where we kind of thought what happened the season before we finished just outside the playoffs, it's going to happen again. And I thought, oh God, is it going to be like this? And when Walsall were top at league, we were, I think, 9th, 10th. And I thought, yeah, that's it. Like playoffs maybe, and that's it. But like, it's all down to Graham. I'll be honest. He is a phenomenal manager, and what he did with our squad is actually unbelievable. First half of the season, fair enough, it was poor. It was quite poor from us. Second half, after we lost Andy Cook in January to an ACL injury, honestly, our squad just changed. We just knew what was needed to like get over the line. Every game we just worked together. Like everyone knew what was. That's fine, Claire. That's sorted. all the players just knew what was needed and what was like expected, and like even the loan lads as well. Like I said, a few lads a few weeks ago, like Jack Shepherd from Barnsley, Taylor Admirola from Palace, they just got the squad, they just got the team, they got the player, they got everything about the club. And I think that's all down to Graham and the way he's led it, and seeing the players like at our dedicated fixture against Crewe, just the togetherness of the players, and they knew the expectation of a club like us. Like we go on about it, Bradford is a big club. Like we got 20,000 plus attendance in the last like 5 home games of the season. The last game of the season got 24,000. So we are a big club, but there is an expectation to get out of League Two, because I personally feel like we don't deserve to be in League Two. We deserve to be higher, and I feel like the players just took on board this year. Like I mentioned, Jack Shepherd. Yeah, I'll get that t-shirt. That's a good idea. That's a cracking idea for a t-shirt. I will wear that as well. Oh God, yeah, the roundabout. I didn't go to the roundabout, so I don't need to worry about that. But yeah, I think the players as well, like Anthony Sarcevic, for example, Claire will tell you about it. What a player. 8 promotions. 8 promotions is ridiculous. And then obviously, like I said, Alex Patterson, Bobby Poynton, one of our own. Like he's a Bradford lad through and through. He knows what it means for this club to do well. And you should have seen him on the last day. He was in tears. And I thought, bless him, like he knows what it means. And like you've got Andy Cook, obviously on the screen, 12 goals. He was our top goal scorer, and he got injured in January. Like people have been saying that we are better without Andy Cook. I do not believe that for 1 second. We are so much better with him in our side because we know what we're doing when he's in our team. And he's also a leader that can command players and understand what it means to like get over the line with goals and assists. And I think this year we deserve to get promoted because obviously it was 40 years since the fire, and also it's a city of culture. So it was just everything just came in together. And obviously the parade and City Park, that was unbelievable. Honestly, the scenes from that, it's just honestly incredible, and it just shows what sort of club Bradford City is, and we showed it to the rest of the league. No, literally, like the squad, and I can't keep talking about this squad. Like I don't want that season to end, and obviously it has, but they've just been incredible. And obviously you guys know how much like it meant to me getting promoted that final day. I got so emotional, and I just couldn't believe it that we've actually done it. We're actually in League One next season, and it's been 6 years, and finally we've got over the line. It's just like a weight has been lifted off our shoulders, and finally we're in a league where it's like bigger attendance, there's bigger stadiums where we can go. So we'll probably pack out a lot of stadiums as well, because our away following is mental. And honestly, I can't wait for like some of the away days next season. Obviously Stockport's a Tuesday night, which I'm fuming about, but it's fine. Wigan, Bolton, all these like other away days. Obviously I have to give credit, like Rebecca mentioned it earlier, Ben Woods, every single Bradford City fan loves him now. We love him. After scoring that goal against Walsall, we love him. Like, honestly, what a player he is. Like, that goal as well, what a player, but we all love him now. Like, he's our favourite player, like, ever. That's it.
No, you're not having him.
No, that's fine. There is rumours, but no, we don't want him. He's just our favourite player from last year, that's it. But yeah, honestly, the players this season have been phenomenal. I mentioned obviously Jamie Walker earlier. What a player. I think that's also like the players are down to the management behind. Like we know what we want this season. Our owner's now like fully invested in the club and everything and wants to do well. Obviously, some of you might have seen the signings that we've already made for next season. We'll obviously speak about in the preview show. But the signings we made for this season has actually been incredible. And I think we do have a chance in League One to actually like just solidify a place in League One. We're not obviously fighting for also the playoffs. We're just there to like have like a foundation to build on, and I think the signings we've already made will help that. But I think the momentum from this season will help us out massively. I think 100% it will.
Yeah, you know that home form as well, though. Like that is an incredible home form, that. And that's what's got you there, isn't it?
Yeah, it changed. I'll be honest, and it like. The home form for us were awful before, and then something just clicked, and then we made it Fortress, and it was honestly unbelievable. Like the atmosphere and everything was just mental. And I just think if we can carry that momentum into this season, we'll be fine at home. Yeah. I know Northampton away, first away day this season as well.
I think we'd all said on this pod as well, hadn't we? Even when you would coming on now and again and stuff like that, every single like comment you were putting was positive, everything like that, even though you were going through some like bad times, this, that and the other. And then when Cootie got injured, we're like, oh, I might have derailed it or whatever. But I think all of us were just so chuffed when Bradford did come up, and I can't think of anyone who deserves it more than what you do, to be honest, because the
you.
amount of positive stuff you put in this and in our chat and all, I was so chuffed for you. And I did call it at Christmas, so there we are.
it was never in doubt, right?
Nah, it was never in doubt when I called it. Like, I did also say that Swindon would go down, so I was right in one way. But no, I'm just a bit for you, man. And you've, I know you see we're not mentioning transfers, but you've got Max Power, baby.
What a cracking signing that is!
What a man!
Yeah,
what a man!
Honestly. Yeah.
Anybody else got anything to say on Bradford?
No, I'd like to ask Dietrich a couple of questions, though. Because I think, Bradford and Doncaster probably went through the same amount of emotions going into the last couple of months of the season, and it just seemed for all the world like nobody wanted to get promoted from League Two.
Yeah.
And it was just opportunities just being cast aside. When you have those games like against Tranmere and Swindon and Doncaster and things like that, were you still fully confident in Graham Alexander and his team selections and the subs that he was making? I know some Bradford fans were a little bit worried about him going negative and things like that.
I'll be honest, I kind of believed from the beginning. I know that sounds like hypothetical and like, oh yeah, we're promoted now. No, but I literally believed in him from the beginning because the interviews he does and the way he speaks, you can just understand he gets the club. And I'll be honest, some of the team sheets and stuff, I did question it because I was like, okay, how are we going to play like this? Some of the subs in particular, like you've got players who aren't in the team, why are we not playing them? But I think he just knew what he were doing. And like he knew how to get the best out of his players. And I know, a few Bradford fans wanted him to go and stuff like, especially the first half of the season. Like October was awful for us, and I know they wanted him to go. But I think I'm glad we stuck by him because we've got a really bad history of sacking managers and then getting new lads and then getting new people. It just don't work in. Whereas if we stuck with someone like we did with Graham, look at it, we've got over the line. So I think, I did believe in Graham because I just thought if you give someone time, they'll be able to see what they want, and this was obviously like the full season with him getting players that he wanted in the door, loan signings and permanents. So I think I did trust him massively, and it is easy to say, but I just felt like he was the person that could do the job, and he did.
And what's your just one last question? What's your thoughts on obviously Richie Smallwood and letting him go, and what you think sort of the future holds for him? Were you upset? Do you think it was the right time for the club to let him go?
I'll be honest, I was surprised with Richie Smallwood leaving because he is our captain and he was a phenomenal leader on the pitch. And the 3 games when he was banned after Swindon, we struggled a lot without him in the middle. It's not just for him as a player, but it was him just like commanding the team and being that glue in the middle of our midfield. I'll be honest, I don't know where I'd see him end up because I think he can play in League One. I think so. But then I feel like he might want a challenge in League Two. I don't know. But I think he was a bit surprised as well to leave. Yeah. But then I feel like now he's left, he's got that promotion under his belt. So he's left on a good way. He hasn't left on bad terms. Yeah, he hasn't left on bad terms. He's left on a good way. Same with Jamie Walker. Like, obviously, we are gutted that he's left, but he's left as a promotion winner. Yeah, so I think, obviously, good luck to Richie Smallwood. Like, whichever club gets him, fair play to him because they've got a very good player in him. But I wish him all the best because if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have got promoted either. He's the main factor of why we got promoted.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you.
No worries.
Second position, we have Port Vale. Who wants to talk about Port Vale?
I think that's great.
No one.
I think Darren Moore is a fantastic manager. He's done so well with them, and they found form at the right time, didn't they? Out of nowhere, they came through and they put that winner games together to get themselves into them automatic promotion places at the right time. They've got goals in the team as well. I was delighted for Darren Moore. I think a lot of Donny fans give him a lot of hate when he left us, but I think he's a terrific coach.
Yeah, he's done it. He's another one who's done it in a few leagues now as well. Yeah. He's had a few. Yeah. He's had a few clubs now, but but fair play to him. He's one of them. He's one of football's nice guys, isn't he? And the thing is about Port Vale, this is why I think it went a little bit quiet in the chat there. Port Vale were one of them teams that went under the radar quite a lot last year. We didn't speak that much about them, and then all of a sudden they found a run of form. Obviously, Walsall were falling off, Crewe had fallen off, and all that. The likes of Donny, likes of Bradford, likes of Port Vale, they were on the game. But we were talking so much about Donny and Bradford, I think we missed out Port Vale quite a lot. But fair play to them, and you'd rather not be spoken about all that much. and go up than, you know, teams, people by podcasting now talking about every week, every this, every that, and getting them down. Yeah, Claire did have them as their favourite. Like, phone Robbie Williams. He's busy at the minute. He's on tour.
Win the league, actually. I thought going into the last game of the season, I thought Port Vale would win the league. I thought they'd beat Gillingham and Donny would struggle against Notts County. But I think they had a great season.
I don't want to touch too much on Port Vale, but what I want to just touch on is Laurent Talladge.
I was about to touch on him, yeah.
I don't know how many of you guys know about his career, but his first, he was Brighton Youth Academy prospect, and his first 4 senior loans, he never scored a goal, and then Aldershot picked him up at National League to try and, I wouldn't say revive his career because he's still only very young. He's 23, I think he was 24, but he scored 19 goals for Aldershot last year and very deservingly got a move to the EFL. But I'll be honest, I wasn't expecting him to make. I knew he was confident and comfortable making the step up, but I think that's an incredible goal return for your first season at the level.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, he's a great footballer. I remember when he signed for Salford back in 2022 on loan, and I was like, who is this kid? And it didn't work out for him at the time, and I thought, oh, he's just going to be another one that kind of has got the potential but kind of falls away to the wayside. But he's proving that he can do it, and yeah, he's a very, very exciting footballer, I think.
Yeah, and also then your home kit for next year is gorgeous. Oh, is that controversial?
I haven't seen it yet.
I haven't seen it.
No.
Have you not? They've done like a retro kit to celebrate some anniversary. It's like play.
I'll have a look. Hang on.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
I love that yellow kit in the middle.
Yeah.
No, their shirt for next year I think is gorgeous. Yeah.
The blue and gold one reminds me of Southend.
Yeah.
But
sorry, Rebecca. I like that.
I was just going to mention there's one player that was a standout before he was injured for me at Port Vale. Again, biased, he is an ex-Everton player, but Carl John, an incredible player and such a young lad as well.
Yeah.
And they've just signed him on for, I think it's like another 2 years as well.
Brilliant.
He's going into like League One with them, so that is just incredible, and I'm so thrilled for him because he didn't have like the best time with Everton. He didn't make it like fully into the first team, so to now see him thriving in such a strong Port Vale side and under a manager that understands his play and has him playing the best that we've seen him, it is honestly incredible. So I'm so happy for Carl John and to just see him doing really well this season. Like hopefully an injury-free season next season, and it'll be a very good one.
Very good player as well. I agree. Very good player. Right. Last but not least, you've waited all of this time.
I'm exhausted.
I know that you are.
I'm just waiting for you to tell me you've got a soft spot for Doncaster as well.
I've got a soft spot for Luke Molyneux, so there we are.
There we go.
And I've always enjoyed my little away days down there. I've always had a good away day. It's been fun. Yeah.
Doncaster Rovers, they did finish champions, first position in League Two, have got promotion. Becky, you've waited this long. Please talk to us.
I mean, I still don't think I'm over it now in a lot of ways. I remember when we lost to Crewe in the playoffs last season on penalties, and Grant McCann did an interview after that game and said he didn't want any players playing for this football club that didn't believe that they could go and win the league next year. And they did a really good job of replacing some of the loan players that we had from that season. Hakeem Adelakan, Timothy Latula, Matty Craig that we had on loan from Spurs. And Grant McCann is experienced at that league, at that level. He's managed us before. He's got us to the playoffs in League One before. He instills confidence in the existing players, but he also utilises the loan market really, really well. We brought in Rob Street on loan from Lincoln, who previously didn't have a particularly good record. And he came in and had a really good season. Luke Molyneux, for the first 18 months, struggled with us. Had 6 months where he was brilliant, earned himself a new contract. In my opinion, was the best player in League Two last year. And as I said earlier on, it felt like at times nobody wanted to go up in that league. It was crazy. It was a roller coaster of emotions. We had a hard end to the season as well. I think we had Colchester, Bradford, and Notts County in 3 of our last 4 games. And going to that Bradford game and everything, it was full house. You know, there was a lot of banter between the fans. We didn't give Bradford a full allocation. It was hard. It really, really was. Billy Sharp, you know, he's going to be 40 soon. Proving that he always scores against Bradford, I believe. But proving that he can still score goals at that level when it matters. And I just think by the end of the season, it was just a massive sigh of relief, because I don't think the quality in League Two last season was actually as a higher level as it had been previously. When you look at your Wrexhams and your Stockports and your Mansfields and teams like that, and I think it was a really, really good opportunity for teams to get out of League Two, and we managed it. So yeah, obviously buzzing.
And it just goes to show, you mentioned Billy Sharp, 40-year-old still banging the goals in. It's mental, isn't it? I mean, the fact that he keeps himself, again, we mentioned it before, didn't we? I can't remember, wasn't it? But the fact that he keeps himself fit every single season, and fair play to him, because he's a Donny lad as well, isn't he, Billy Sharp?
He's a Sheffield lad.
Yeah. Oh, she's gone.
Oh, she's gone.
Not now, Becky.
She's gone.
She mentioned the word Sheffield and it's gone.
Yeah.
Come on, Wednesday.
No.
Becky, come back.
I'm talking
there we go.
all time and then it cuts out when I'm talking about Donny. So Billy Sharp's a Sheffield lad, and obviously Nate played a lot of his career through for the Blades, but we've had a few load spells with him. And he's got, you know, we helped him through a pretty hard time when he lost his son. He's got a great affiliation with the club, and he's got great work ethic as well. We've given him a 1-year deal. I wasn't sure, in all honesty, whether we should have done that. I think you look at the quality of teams in League One and wonder, you know, is he good to play? You imagine his wages are going to be high in comparison to some of the other players, but he's earned it at the same time, and he can still get them goals in those crucial games. So, yeah.
Yeah. But what a cracking season. What a cracking season League Two was, or wasn't it?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. You know what I mean? We said before, obviously, Walsall doing what Walsall did, Crewe being so high, and then, you know, a couple of surprises, like you say, with Doncaster. I think I might have predicted Doncaster Shah, but I can't remember. I definitely predicted Bradford.
We'll have a look.
Oh, I don't want to do mine. I don't want one of mine, wasn't it? It's really bad.
It's just nice as well. Obviously, we lost Morecambe, but it's good to see a couple of more northern teams getting into League One. You know, your Bradfords and your Donny.
Yeah, it's
two
a good
proper
league
football clubs. It's good to see.
All I can say is, when it comes to this point of the podcast, I'm glad I wasn't here, so I don't have to go through the embarrassment of getting them all wrong.
Just bear with me one moment. I've just got to get right to my graphics.
I can't believe she's wrote them down.
It's not me, it's Sam. This is Sam.
We actually thought ahead.
I know. Right.
I'm not looking
Are
forward
we
to this.
ready for a laugh? Are we ready?
I can just sit back and enjoy myself here, can't I?
No, me too. Just
I
real relax, that's it.
So I can enjoy it.
Why the hell
So, League Two, this was our prediction. So, as champions, Ant went for MK Dons.
Yeah.
I went for MK Dons. Claire went for Port Vale. Dan went for MK Dons. Danny went for Port Vale. Jen went for Chesterfield. Kieran went for Port Vale. Nick went for Doncaster.
Rebecca went for Gillingham.
And Rebecca went for Gillingham.
Rebecca, you're flying, ain't you?
Yeah. Just wait till my next one. That's even better.
Promoted. Who did I go for?
Doncaster. There we go. I knew it.
I got Port Vale. I got Port Vale, mate.
I got Port Vale.
I'm not the only one that put Carlisle.
I know. So, on the promoted teams, I went for Doncaster and Gillingham. I went for Chesterfield and Port Vale. Claire went for Doncaster and MK Dons. Dan went for Port Vale and Doncaster. Danny went for Doncaster and Carlisle. Jen went for Port Vale and Gillingham. Kieran went for MK Dons and Doncaster. Uncle Nick went for MK Dons and Colchester. And Rebecca went for Doncaster and Carlisle. Are we ready for playoffs? Who did you have to in the playoffs? I Doncaster. So
I'm sure I said Bradford. I think you've got me and Claire mixed up there.
Oh, the Aki.
No offense, but why has he gone for Accrington in the playoffs?
So playoffs and went for Cheltenham. It says on here.
Apparently.
I went for Doncaster. Claire went for Bradford. Dan went for Accrington. Danny went for Bradford. Jen went for Notts County. Kieran went for Gillingham. Uncle Nick went for Gillingham. And Rebecca stuck by you guys and went for Accrington.
There's no bias in that one, is there?
I'm dreading what I put for relegated. I don't know what I put.
I know I put Swindon. But Bromley.
Salford.
So,
surely that's a bit of Rochdale bias, that a bit of the rivalry coming through there.
I don't actually know why I went for him, but do you know what? Karma. I went for him because I knew he'd steal Jay Bird off us. So, relegated teams. Anne went for Bromley and Swindon. I went for Salford and Harrogate. Claire went for Bromley and Fleetwood. A lot for Bromley. Dan went for Bromley and Morecambe. Danny went for Newport and Morecambe. I love how it's Newport, though. Kieran will be fuming. Jen went for Newport and Harrogate. Kieran went for Barrow and Harrogate. Uncle Nick went for Bromley and Harrogate. And Rebecca went for Colchester and Bromley.
So all in all, not a great effort.
No, but you know what? It could have been a lot worse. We got some. It could have been a lot worse.
It could have been.
And it shows you all sort of think very similar, which makes a good podcast, in my opinion. Like, you're all pretty bunched together in your ideas and opinions. So, like, yeah, it's good.
Because
I copied off Charlotte, me.
Never copied off me.
Gillingham to win league, I think, is a bit wild. Now you look at it.
I might just go for some like proper bizarre ones next season. Like, who's going to get promoted? I haven't got a clue. Barnet.
Really woke opinions.
Yeah.
Just wait, Aki will win it league. We're getting promoted. We're winning playoffs. It's just Aki for them all apart from relegated.
Do you know what? I'm going to find it really interesting this season and our predictions. I really am, because I think all of the leagues are very, very competitive this time round. Yeah. I think a lot of us could probably have MK Dons with the money they're spending, obviously, in League Two. Yeah. But overall, it's going to be quite competitive, not just in League Two, in all the EFL leagues, but even the national leagues as well.
Yeah. I agree.
I can't wait to have an opinion, but not really caring about my opinion.
Oh, and I'm the same. I can't wait for next season. I want to say what I want to hear about.
But of course, that is the end of the show. And what a great review it's been. I've really enjoyed the League Two one, to be fair. Very, very good.
Thanks for having us.
No, thank you, Becky.
No problem. I've enjoyed it.
Where can everybody find you if you want more Becky in their lives?
I'm on X at Donny Barmy Army.
What a name.
Love that.
Donny Barmy Army, I know. Yeah, so I'm on there. I'll obviously retweet the podcast when it goes out and everything like that. But it's been lovely meeting you all, lovely chatting you all, trying you all.
No, thank you. And you're always welcome to come on as well. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. But obviously, you'll have to talk League One next season.
Wow, what a shame. No, I look forward to it. I'll keep a lookout for when you're next doing one, absolutely.
Oh, thank you so much.
I'll get involved in the predictions for next season, see how long
Definitely. We need you on the predictions, so then at the end of it, you can be part of the laugh that all these viewers
exactly.
have.
It's not fair otherwise, is it? Absolutely. So.
Anne, where can everybody find you if you want to find you on the socials?
Sky Sports News, getting interviewed by Keith.
I know. I thought you're too famous to come on here.
I know. No autographs. I'm at ant_waters at Twitter. Obviously, since that last week, I've been getting a lot of followers. So, sorry if I don't follow you all back, because I really don't want
to. so modest.
I know. But yeah, just and I'm on Blue Sky as well. Same one, ant_waters, which is lovely, by the way. If you don't go on it, It's mint. It's just It's basically what John Lennon sang about when he wrote Imagine. He literally just based on Blue Sky. He thought ahead. Well, yes, thank you, by the way. Enjoyed it.
No, thank you for joining us, especially with all these, like, now you're getting famous. Now you're part of the Premier League show. It's lovely to still have you on this show.
And I've got festy flu as well, so you made us feel a lot better.
I know. You're my OG anyway. I need you on this show. Still,
yeah,
I'm big time Premier League. You are staying.
Well, I'll have something that I take off getting hammered 5-0 every week next season. So.
Rebecca, where can everybody find you?
You can find my personal Twitter and TikTok, which is _Rebecca_short_. You can find my Her Game 2 content at ASFC Her Game 2, which there should be a very exciting announcement coming up in the next few weeks, and quite a few little bits coming from the club as well. So it's very exciting over there. And then you can find me with the amazing Jen on Girls in the Grandstand, where we cover everything F1.
Oh, I'm a big F1 fan as well. I'll tune into that.
Love that. It's a great podcast as well.
Yeah, I love F1.
I know nothing about F1, like, really, but I listen to it. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's brilliant. And I'm thinking, I don't have a clue, but it's a great podcast.
No, that's one I'll definitely tune into. Absolutely.
Aaron, a new member. How's it been?
First one in the books. I feel like I'm part of the family now, full time. So yeah, it was a good one, and I'm excited to be talking about league football after a 4-year absence. Very exciting.
Yeah, to get that in there.
yeah, final
Next
one
season,
today. So my main platform is X. I'm Aaron Diskin 1. The number just quite nice and simple, and also I've just set up an X account for our disability liaison officer, which is me. So basically, OAFC DLO is also my work for the disability stuff that I do at Latics as well. So if you fancy following that would be much appreciated. And yeah, I'll be back. I'm back full time now. So yeah, happy days.
It's been nice having you, Aaron, as an official member as well.
Yes.
Jen, where can everybody find you?
So it's Jen Hunt _ on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all them good places. You'll find me there. Probably crying over We Were Liars. So if anyone wants to watch a show where they want to bawl their eyes out.
Oh, I've been told about that,
yeah, that is the show, because it destroyed me and I'm still thinking about it 5 days later. So yeah, that's where you'll find me, probably crying on TikTok over edits that people keep making that keep coming up on my TikTok. But yeah.
I've just been watching the Fred and Rose West stuff, so I need something light just to calm me down.
If you want a good cry, that is
I will. Yeah, I'll give that one a watch.
But yeah, other than that, you'll find me, Bex, and my 2 other friends on Girls in the Grandstand. And Bex is off to Silverstone next week, so that will be an exciting podcast for me when she's back home.
It is a really good day. Have you been before?
This will be my 3rd time going.
Yeah,
I think.
I've been once. It is brilliant.
Yeah, so I'll be doing a takeover on there. So if anyone wants to see what I get up to in that week and all of the chaos that I cause,
definitely, definitely, we're here for it. Drita, before I come to you with the socials, I know I was messaging you before, but I just want to say, like, you've been on here a few times now, and I'm so proud of you for the amount of confidence and everything, and you coming out of your shell week after week after week. And I know it can be so difficult at times, obviously, if you've not done it before, but I just want to say how proud I am.
Yeah,
I was watching you before, and honestly, I had a big smile on my face because I was like, she's smashing it. And I absolutely love to see the confidence you are getting each show. So I just wanted to put that out there first.
Thank you so much.
Honestly, that means smiling as well.
Honestly, thank you so much for coming on, because this podcast is honestly, we don't do it for anything other than it helps our mental health struggles. Obviously, we love to talk about football, whether it be our teams, but it's to give people a platform to obviously, whether it's in the chat, whether it's to come on, for them to come together for a community and grow in confidence and feel comfortable talking about their football club. And obviously, I know you from Her Game Too and stuff. We know you from in the chat, and you make it such a positive platform in the chat. And not just that now, we have you on here and you make us smile week in, week out, honestly. And I'm just so bloody proud of you. I really, really am.
Thank you so much.
I just wanted to say that because I said it all in message, but I wanted to come on here as well because every single person on here right now feels exactly the same. And we're 100%. So lucky to have you on here.
Thank you so much. Honestly, that means a lot to me. Like you said, my confidence has grown. I think with time as well, it'll get better. But yeah, from the beginning till now, I feel so much more confident. It's all down to you lot, everyone in the chat as well. Like, thank you to everyone, honestly.
Good stuff.
I can't wait until the weeks that you're really, really comfortable and you're coming on here doing a Claire, telling it how it is.
Might get
that day will come. But
oh
where can everybody find you on the socials and your Her Game Too stuff as well?
So you can find me Doriti_HGT on Twitter. That's where I usually post most stuff. Thank you, Sam. And you can find my Her Game 2 stuff at HGT_BCFC, and that's on Twitter and Instagram. Like Rebecca, we've got a few announcements pending, just a few more things just to prepare. Obviously, League One, we're very excited. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Very excited for next season. Very excited for a dedicated fixture as well. So yeah, stay tuned for that.
Love that. Love that. And if anybody does want to follow me, I am SharXRAFC. That is on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. We also had a very good announcement come out of Rochdale Her Game Too as well. Because obviously I'm busy at the moment with podcast stuff, the club advisory board at Rochdale. I needed a little bit of help with my Her Game 2 team. So Leanne, one of my best friends, she was one of my advocates at Rochdale. She has stepped up and she is co-ambassador with me, helping me making all the decisions because I needed the help and she's amazing. So I just wanted to point that out. There's a lot of changes there. But of course, one thing I do want to tell you, it is, I know, Absolute Football Podcast. That is our name. And we did win Best New Content Creator at the Football Content Awards. And obviously, it was an absolutely amazing time when we did go there last year. Honestly, it was surreal, the fact we even won an award. We were just happy to go get nominated, be alongside all them amazing content creators. And we just basically went, didn't we, Ant, for the night out? We just really wanted to meet each other, have a night out with the rest of the team. But we actually won an award. And nominations, you can actually nominate people at the moment. And if you do enjoy our content, you don't have to, no pressure. If you do enjoy our content and the community we are trying to build, it would honestly mean so much to us if you did nominate us in the FCAs. But like I said, you do not have to, but if you do have the time, please do. But yeah, we are the Absolute Football Podcast. On Twitter, we are Absolute Ball Pod. On YouTube and Twitch, we are Absolute Football Podcast. On TikTok, we are Absolute Football Pod. On Instagram, we are Absolute Football Podcast _. Blue Skies, Absolute Football. And on Facebook, we are the Absolute Football Podcast. And we have 4 live shows a week. 4 live shows. It's gone from Premier League show on a Monday where we used to cover a little bit of EFL here and there and a few European leagues to 4 live shows, which is absolutely amazing. And on a Monday, it is absolutely non-league where you can find myself and Jen and the rest of the team. This week, we will be doing our National League season review. I'm so excited for that one. So excited. Well, I get to talk about Dale finally.
Does that mean I can get to come on and pull double shift this week then, or what?
No, you're not allowed because we need to slag Oldham off. Joking. You're more than welcome, Tim. You're more than welcome. On a Tuesday, we are absolutely Premier League with Sam, Rebecca, and the rest of the team. Absolutely women's football on a Wednesday with Freya and Team Chaos. They did a fantastic show last night as well, previewing the Women's Euros. It was absolutely fantastic. And honestly, their content is absolutely brilliant on women's football. And I think they're doing a few watch-alongs, if I do have it right, and a lot of fun content here and there, which will be really fun. So go and check them out. And then, obviously, on a Thursday, it is Absolutely Lower League, and it's where we cover the EFL Championship, League One and League Two. And remember, 8:30 all of them days. Do not forget it. Do not forget it. But once again, before I go, I just wanted to talk about the community that we have built, because it's absolutely fantastic. Just your continued support as well, no matter whether it's the EFL show, non-league, Premier League, women's football. We've built a group of people that love to express their opinions, not just on one league of football, but also kind of learn and educate themselves on all the rest of the leagues. And it's so lovely to see. And I just love the interactions you have with each other and the friendships and bonds that you do build. And honestly, it's something I'm really, really proud of. And I just wanted to come on and mention that because I'm so proud.
You do it.
Really am. Oh, thank you, Becky.
No problem.
But yeah, thank you so much to each and every person that has joined in tonight. We really appreciate it. Have a lovely weekend and see you for now.